And we are back here in Boston, scene of many historic games. And the Celtics hope that their playoff history were to continue, and they hope the spirit of '76 becomes the spirit of '03, at least for one game, Jeff, as we bring you the starting lineups for tonight's Game 4. And this is an enthusiastic crowd. They have not lost any of that. For the Nets, it'll be Kerry Kittles and Jason Kidd in the backcourt. Kenyon Martin and Richard Jefferson flank Jason Collins at center. For the Celtics, Tony Delk and Paul Pierce, who has been marvelous in this series and overshadowed by the net play. And Walter McCarty, Tony Battie at center, and Antoine Walker, who is struggling but coming off a career playoff high 15 rebounds. The officials tonight: Joe Crawford, his 26th year in the NBA, Hugh Hollins and Bill Spooner, and the opening tip controlled by the Nets. Nets open up a 9-point lead here in Boston. Took the crowd out of it early on in game number 3. 9 on the shot clock, and Kidd behind the line puts the Nets up 3-0, and that'll quiet them even more.
And that's leadership. People talk about vocal leadership. I'd rather see it on the floor. Guy coming out, establishing a made shot right off the bat. You want to play from ahead. Jason Kidd did that.
Pierce over on the side, and here is Tony Delk coming back with a basket. Tony Delk has played very well in this series, had 19 points in game 2, and has been outstanding from three-point range.
And if you notice here in Boston's defense, Dick, they've made a matchup change. Paul Pierce is guarding Richard Jefferson, where before he was guarding Kerry Kittle.
And here is Jefferson's first foray, and it's an air ball. So the defensive change is made, and Coach, you may interpret what that all means as Pierce misses his first shot of the game. And a foul, loose ball foul against Antoine Walker.
Well, I liked what I saw there from Walker, though. Walker attacking the offensive glass, even though he got a foul. It shows an aggression that he's going to need to get out of this mini slump.
Live TNT NBA Spanish language feed now available via SAP. So Walker picking up the foul. Here's Kenyon Martin, defended by Antoine Walker. And the shot missed by Collins, but it comes back into the hands of Kittles. And here is Kidd, a two-point attempt, and the rebound taken down by Walter McCarty, nearly stripped away. And a bad turnover by the Celtics, as if there were any good ones. And Kittles sets the three and hits. Kerry Kittles. And when you talk about what the Nets have done, also overshadowed has been his three-point shooting.
When you make a turnover in transition, oftentimes it leads to a basket back against you in transition. And there, Walter McCarty was caught with the ball in the middle of the floor. He should have made sure that Walker or Delk handled it in the middle of the floor.
And an offensive foul called against Tony Battie. And talking about the turnovers in the fast breaks, Jeff, the Nets have outscored the Celtics. As you look at Jim O'Brien and Byron Scott, with a 45-point edge in the 3 games in the fast break department. Here is Jefferson posting up against Pierce. Coming over to help was McCarty, and McCarty committing the personal foul.
And Dick, Boston came out with great energy, and just like in Game 3, New Jersey came out with better efficiency and played from ahead throughout. Here we go at 6-2. Jefferson at the line to give him that cushion to stave off the enthusiasm of the crowd.
Shooting 56% from the field, and Jim O'Brien says he doesn't have any secret idea to change things the way they are, although you did point out the one switch in the matchups, Jefferson hitting both, and the Nets open up with a 6-point lead and now put pressure on.
Well, you're right. Jim O'Brien can't reinvent the Celtics. They are who they are. They can make minor adjustments like the matchups, but they have to go with what's been best for them, and Pierce and Walker have been their best players.
Here's Antoine Walker trying to get on track, and Walker lays it in. Antoine Walker shooting only 29% from the field, cutting the net lead to 4.
And he got posted against a smaller Kerry Kittles because they ran a pick and roll, forced a switch, and Walker got a favorable matchup in the post.
Kittles defended by McCarty, who has a tremendous wingspan, and batting it out is Battie out of bounds. The Celtics have had the big edge in shot blocking thus far in the series.
Here Walker's posted against Kittles. Great counter move on the spin and a good finish.
Kittles, who hit a 3, misses here. Walker with the Pass ahead to Pierce, who lays it in. And this crowd quickly back into the game.
And a good sign for Boston. A transition easy basket and a layup for Paul Pierce.
Baseline pass inside to Collins, and it's blocked by Tony Delk. Great play made by the Celtic point guard. Goes around Kidd, and now it is blocked by Kenyon Martin and Jason Collins. And here is the fast break with Kidd being fouled going to the basket. Pierce was one of those defenders who banged the Kidd, who penetrated inside.
Here Walker does a great job advancing the ball on time and on target to Pierce for the easy layup. And then Delk made a great dribble move but got his shot blocked, which led to the Kidd fast break and foul.
And Jason Kidd, and you talk about the great leader, you know about his assists. He is the #1 playmaker in the playoffs in the NBA, but he also has more rebounds in this series than any other player on either team. Misses the second free throw.
Think about that from your point guard position. Dick, he's clearly the best player in the Eastern Conference and the most valuable player in the Eastern Conference, and he's had an unbelievable effect again on the New Jersey Nets this season.
And foul called. It'll be against New Jersey. Jefferson with the reach-in foul. 3.5 minutes gone by. Jim O'Brien trying to keep the Celtics alive. This franchise has only been swept twice in their illustrious history. And Tony Delk hitting a three and ties the game at 9. This crowd has seen a lot of great basketball over the years. In the old Garden here at the New Fleet Center, trying to get a history of their own. And this crowd never gives up. Here is Kenyon Martin working his way inside. Awkward shot, and it comes down to the Celtics with 4 minutes gone by, trying to take their first lead of the game. And the pass by Walker, trying to get it to the tee, thrown out of bounds.
That was a poor decision by Antoine Walker on the break, but Tony Battie at the other end of the floor, a great job of individual defense on Kenyon.
Martin coming off the screen, and McCarty getting the rebound. And one of the great ways that you can prevent transition baskets is to be able to hit your shots, something the Celtics have not been able to do, as Battie does there.
Exactly. Good offense is your best defense, and there, Boston's made 5 of 7. Battie is a capable 17-foot shooter. A good offensive start for the Celtics.
Celtics with their first lead of the game, in front 11-9, and driving in is Jefferson with a shot over Pierce. Tough shot by Jefferson.
But again, I like Paul Pierce right there. He was up on that shot. He was contesting it. And again, you see a very good move by Jefferson going to the middle. Paul Pierce does a great job of contesting. Jefferson just knocks in a difficult shot.
Here's Pierce, who has scored 34, 32, and 23 points. And here comes the fast break. Kidd has Kittles and Jefferson. And the whistle by Joe Crawford. And a Celtic foul. And it's McCarty picking up his second foul. McCarty has started the last 7 playoff games. Eric Williams had been the regular starter during the season. Ends up playing just as many minutes, if not more, as Williams replaces McCarty in the Boston lineup. 2 fouls on McCarty, and Williams into the game.
But Dick, we'll give McCarty a pass. He's a new father, just had his first child yesterday, so he may have bigger and better thoughts right now.
Go to 2 games, and the Celtics hope they get 2 more games out of this. Tied at 11, 6:40 remaining in the first quarter. Dick Stockton along with Jeff Van Gundy and Cheryl Miller here at the Fleet Center. And a defensive 3-second violation called against the New Jersey Nets. And a technical foul, so it'll be a free throw in possession for Boston. Pierce on the line. Byron Scott, who has given the New Jersey Nets that toughness that if they were to go on to the NBA Finals, could serve them well against whomever they meet out west.
I think the Nets have, I think Byron Scott's done a terrific job. I think the Nets have the best team in the Eastern Conference because they have the most balance between offense and defense, inside and perimeter play, and transition and half court. People underestimating the East. If the Nets get there, they can beat, I think, San Antonio and now Sacramento without Chris Webber.
And few people think that, but they certainly, Jeff, have regained their swagger. The last 2 games in Milwaukee and the first 3 here, they've won 5 playoff games in a row. 3 on the shot clock. Antoine Walker slings it up. Delk almost tipped it in. And the Kidd brings it down for the Nets. Celtics by 1, nearly halfway through this opening stanza. Kenyon Martin tries to get it to Jefferson. Out of bounds, last touch by Boston. Nets took 3 out of 4 in the regular season. And New Jersey won its 3 games by an average of 21 points. So this has been a good matchup for the Nets in the regular year. Tipped away by Delk. And Tony Delk gives the Celtics now a 3-point. And Delk has 7 of those 14.
He's off to a terrific start, being very aggressive at both ends. 4 rebounds to go along with his 7 points.
So this Celtic team at this point has no inclination that they want to it up for the summer. Here's Kenyon Martin from the perimeter, and Martin with his first basket of the game.
That's where he and Jefferson have really improved. The ability to knock down the medium range jump shot on a consistent basis, which gives them more driving opportunities.
Boston by 1, under 5.5 to play, first quarter. 7 on the shot clock. Kittle's guarding Pierce, and another turnover. That's the 4th here in the first quarter for the Celtics. And that's just not going to get it done. They had careless turnovers in games 2 and 3 of this series. Delk trying to deny Kidd. And here is Kenyon Martin hitting his 2nd in a row. So Martin taking advantage of the extra time after practices to sharpen his shooting eye, and it's paid off for him. And now Jim O'Brien wants to talk it over as 2 Kenyon Martin baskets, giving the Nets the 1-point lead again.
Here we see great anticipation by Tony Delk and a very, very athletic, smaller point guard that finishes it with a dunk.
Cold filter what you don't need. Keep what's good. MGD.
Behind him is a 400-square-foot deluxe bachelor with a partial view. In front of him is a junior executive semi-private with no view. But right now, life is perfect. On the open road, in complete control of a 6-speed, 200-horsepower Acura RSX Type S.
There is only one way to save our city. Neo. What happens if I fail?
Then Zion will fall.
They need you.
I need you.
The Matrix Reloaded, rated R, starts this Thursday.
Like sourdough bread, burgers just taste better cooked over an open fire. This burger is so juicy. The sourdough bacon cheeseburger is back at Burger King. A 1/4 pound of beef, Swiss cheese, and 4 strips of bacon served on buttery toasted sourdough bread. Only back for a limited time.
I am part of a new revolution. I am a shining star.
I am always looking ahead, never behind.
I am responsible because I know my son is watching.
I am not as sweet as you think I am.
I am on a journey, but I am not alone.
Log on to SI.com for the latest NBA news, scores, and more from Sports Illustrated.
The NBA playoffs on TNT, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More than 2,700 non-stop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. Burger King. The sourdough bacon cheeseburger is back for a limited time at Burger King. Verizon Wireless. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you. And Miller Lite. Life is best told at a place called Miller Time.
Back here at the Fleet Center, and of course, there's been a series of lot of distractions, including Antoine Walker going after a fan who was heckling him here at the Fleet Center after the last game. He said it was out of character. The league investigated, and Tim Frank, the league spokesman, said the information in our investigation does not give conclusive evidence that Antoine Walker's actions warrant disciplinary action. And of course, the fan involved had been a long-time heckler. He's no rookie in that department. So the three-pointer by Delk. Tony Delk has hit 2 threes and his 10 points, sparking the Celtics to the lead again.
Dick, I have a question. Why would you spend hard-earned money to heckle people? It's just ridiculous in my mind that a guy would continue to have those seats, and I'm glad that the Celtics are revoking that man's seats.
Well, maybe he works so hard that he has to vent himself. I'm only kidding. I mean, I think that, you know, you can be unreasonable, and there's been a history of a lot of hecklers in many NBA cities who have caused some problems. Turnover, bad pass by Kidd. Here is Tony Delk ahead of the field again, and Delk is the early spark with 12 of the Celtics' 19 points, and they are up now by 4.
But it all started with great Celtic defense. The Celtics need to get back to that, and then Walker made a great pass to Delk in the middle of the break.
Collins guarded by Mark Blount, who's into the game for the Celtics. And here is Jefferson. Rebound by Blount, and they're going to call the foul against Kenyon Martin, his first. So the Celtics come out strong in every facet here in Game 4.
Good defense leads to good offense. Walker, very good decision. And again, Delk is a scoring point guard, and he's doing it very well to start this game, being very aggressive.
And Jeffy's 5 for 7 here is Blount on the pick and roll from Paul Pierce. And the Celtics are playing like a team that knocked off a better seed Indiana in round 1.
And again, a great play by Pierce. Nice pocket bounce pass, trusting his teammate Blount with a great finish.
Kenyon Martin off the glass. The ball knocked away as the Nets try to keep possession. 6-point lead by the Celtics. Their biggest lead in the series has been 8 points. They've had it on 2 occasions, and they can achieve that 8 right here. Pierce driving in. Battles for the loose ball. Antoine Walker, and a new clock for both. Celtics on a 7-0 run. Here with 3 minutes to go in the first as Delk misses from the perimeter. And here come the Nets trailing 21-15. Kittles is trapped. But the Celtics have tightened up that defense, Jeff, no question about it. And a good 3 from a 2-pointer from the corner by Kittle.
In earlier games, that push on the break would have led to a layup. There, Blount did a great job of stopping the penetration by Kittles, and then Kittles was forced to take an 18-foot jump shot.
And this crowd very much in the game, and the Celtics enthused by the crowd reaction. The loose ball foul called against the Nets. Good hustle that time by Eric Williams of the Celtics, and it'll be a foul called against Collins.
A great pass by Pierce coming off a pin down. Nice on-target pass, and then Blount with a strong finish to put Boston ahead 21-17.
When it comes to international espionage,
Who is this?
staying invisible
I don't believe we've met. We still haven't, sir.
means staying alive. See The Art of War. Friday night at 8 on TNT.
So where should I play next year?
Where do you want to play next year? Because you have offers from Dallas, Toronto, Miami, and LA.
Tell me about LA.
Old filter what you don't need. Keep what's good. MGD.
On May 30th,
We're looking for Neymar.
the search is on.
Grab shell, dude.
After countless miles.
Your exit's coming up! You swirling vortex of terror!
After endless dangers.
Nice.
One fish will go where no fish has gone before.
Hop inside my mouth if you want to live.
Right. Walt Disney Pictures presents a Pixar Animation Studios film. I'm coming, Nemo! Finding Nemo, rated G.
Hey, no hurling on the shell, dude, okay? Just waxed it.
This is it. The battlefield of the future is here, now. King of the Cage, Sin City. Friday, May 16th on Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View on DirecTV. Thunderous kicks, dynamite punches, huge takedowns, and a 2-ton steel cage. Live from the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. King of the Cage. May 16th at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Order with your remote.
You know why I'm here?
2 families killed a month apart in their homes.
Now playing on pay-per-view is the story that started it all.
I think we have a better chance to catch him if you help.
Red Dragon.
I think I should go back to Black. This boy begins to interest me.
Plus, you'll see Red Dragon behind-the-scenes material.
Lecter gave me your home address.
Hi. I'm a friend of your father's.
Red Dragon. Now playing on pay-per-view.
With Walker struggling, the Celtics needed someone else to score, and Tony Delka's come through with 12 points. They're shooting the pull-up jumper, and then against the net zone, finding an open space to get the wide-open three, and then finishing in transition off a great Walker feed. Tony Delka's off to a tremendous start.
And off to a great start and getting a breather, actually acquired from the Phoenix Suns, along with Rodney Rogers, who's now with the Nets coming off their bench, and replaced by J.R. Bremer. J.R. Bremer, who was undrafted, rookie out of St. Bonaventure. Here is Blount from the perimeter. Martin with the rebound as we close in on 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. And Kidd hitting the jumper. So Jason Kidd now with 6 points, and it's the backcourt that has the bulk of the scoring, 11 of the Nets' 19. Pass into Pierce, and Pierce inside, fouled by Aaron Williams, who has just entered the game. And Pierce will go to the line.
And that's a very difficult cut to stop. Pierce made a basket cut. Walker's looking inside, throws it up. Pierce is so big and strong, almost like a power forward. He just warded off his defender, caught it, created the contact, and got himself to the line.
Talk about the free throw line. Pierce has gone on the line 40 times. It's now 41 times. And the next highest was Walker with 7. As you look at the TNT schedule, coverage begins at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Kings and Mavericks, followed by Lakers and Spurs. Phil Jackson making the trip to San Antonio. Both series tied at 2 apiece.
And I think we speak for everybody in the NBA. Wishing Phil Jackson a very speedy recovery. See him being back on the sideline so quickly.
23-19, 1:45 remaining in the first quarter. Rodney Rogers, just mentioned him, the former Celtic, into the lineup. Jefferson with Kidd, Williams, Harris, and Rogers. The three-point attempt by Kidd, and the Celtics with a 4-point lead, a minute and a half to go. As both teams much deeper into their reserves in the final moments here. Here is Eric Williams. 8 on the shot clock, spinning his way baseline. And Blount trying to keep it alive, and it's last touch by the Celtics, but Blount showing good hustle since coming into the game. And Antoine Walker also going out of the game, and Grant Long, the 15-year veteran, in there as well. So Pierce, the only remaining starter for the Celtics on the floor right now. Minute remaining in the first quarter. Boston by 4, and here is Rogers. Pierce grabbing the rebound. Nets quickly getting back defensively, and the ball stripped away by Jason Kidd, and here is Lucius Harris leading the break. Kidd defended by Pierce. 12 on the shot clock, nearly half a minute to go in the first quarter. And Jefferson with a tough shot over Eric Williams. So Richard Jefferson now with 6. He and Kidd lead the Nets.
That was good offense by the Nets, but I love what I'm seeing from Boston. Their energy on the defensive end of the floor, but they've got to reduce their turnovers. It's really, really hurting, particularly Paul Pierce.
Bremer puts the fake on Kidd to drive. And here comes Jefferson, and the Nets playing for the last shot of the first quarter. Rogers filling the lane, and they're going to call charging against Rodney Rogers as he ran into Paul Pierce with 5.5 seconds to go. And Byron Scott doesn't believe it.
Well, I think that was a bad call. I think he was in the restricted zone. Here, Paul Pierce steps in, clearly in the restricted zone, That should have been a foul on Paul Pierce and 2 free throws for Rodney Rogers. But I like the courage of Paul Pierce stepping in to take the offensive foul.
And Pierce with a fake, and Williams with some good defense on Paul Pierce. And he's claiming he was fouled as the first quarter comes to an end. But Tony Delk gets the Celtics off impressively with 12 points, including 2 from three-point range. And at the end of one quarter here at the Fleet Center, the Celtics trying to stay alive, lead the Nets 23-21.
The unexpected can be planned for. Tires with proven stopping power. On the wings of Goodyear.
Can you hear me now? Good. Can you hear me now? Good. Got some time on your hands? With Verizon Wireless, you can download the most advanced games on the nation's best wireless network. Can you hear me now? Good. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
You ready for this?
I was made for this.
On June 6th.
Let's see what this thing can do.
It's not what you drive.
We settled this on the blacktop.
It's how you live.
I got a problem with authority.
Too fast, too furious. Rated PG-13.
Oh, but you're so cute, they say. Oh, but you're so smart, they say. Oh, but you're so sweet. Oh, stop. Because I put down the top to my Jeep Wrangler and I drive along the curves of the park, color filling my face, sun filling my eyes. Alone? Yeah. Lonely? Nuh-uh. Jeep. Understand?
From TNT and Sprite, a thirst for winning, Kenyon Martin. He's one of the most tenacious young defensive players in the league. And his incredible shot blocking and rebounding ability proves he has an unstoppable thirst for a return to the NBA Finals. The 2003 NBA playoffs. The drama continues on TNT. See if Kenyon Martin will win or go home. Brought to you by Sprite. Obey your thirst.
Well, here is what happened during the timeout in a discussion right here at the table.
I thought that Rodney Rogers caught the ball in the LDB. Do I have to explain the LDB to you, Jeff?
No, I know the reason.
I'll explain it to you if you'd like. Did he? Did he catch the ball in the LDB? I don't want to hear this stuff just because you're going to get another job.
You know, referees always have an answer. Hey, Joey Crawford, Dick, was the only guy to ever throw me out of a game. And I still haven't forgiven him for that.
I'm glad he didn't throw you out of this
But
one.
what his explanation was is that Pierce was legally in position because Rodney Rogers caught it close enough to the basket as Walker scored. He caught it close enough to the basket that the restricted area had nothing to do with it. So again, that's up to a bad call.
You know what the guys in the truck didn't run was no more questions tonight, Jeff.
They were kind on that one.
Joe Crawford's father, Shag, 20-year National League umpire. Here's that play again. His brother was a long-time National League umpire, still working.
He didn't catch it where Joey said he caught it, which was in the lower defensive box, which would take you a couple courses at a higher level of education. But he caught it near the free throw line, so that should have been an offensive foul. One of the few that Joey misses. Obviously, one of the great officials we've ever had in the NBA.
A little late for that. Rodney Rogers hitting a three. He's still going to throw you out if you go back to the coaching lines. 25-24, the Celtics in front. Early here in the second quarter, the three-point shooting, and two of the threes from Boston by Delk. Bremer at the perimeter, guarded by Anthony Johnson, who was coming to the game. So Johnson, along with Martin defensively, Williams, Rogers, and Lucius Harris. And right now, let's send it over to Cheryl Miller. Cheryl.
Thanks a lot, Dick and Jeff. Well, Coach Scott was instructing his players for the second quarter to get back defensively, take care of the ball, and continue to be patient and aggressive at the offensive end, guys.
And Dick, I think Boston's got to go back to the pick and roll involving Walker, forcing the switch and getting Walker posted up against smaller players that aren't Kenyon Martin.
And here's Antoine Walker forcing it up. Blount tries to save it, but maybe fortunately the shot clock, the 24-second clock expired because the Nets were on another fast break mission.
But that grazed the lower part of the rim, so the clock went off. Here we see Walker shooting the step back three. It grazing the rim. Blount saved it. Nets possession. So the Nets are ultimately going to get in the ball, but that call
saved the break.
Saved the fast break. You're absolutely right.
Off the screen, Lucius Harris with the jumper. And when the Nets were struggling in the second half of the year, Rod Thorne talking before the game, he said, we couldn't hit anything from the perimeter. Now they've got their confidence back. They've been hitting well from outside, and teams are giving them the 12 to 15 footers. Here's Delk, and he comes back. So Delk, after a rest, 14 points to lead the Celtics, who are up by one. Nearly 2 minutes elapsed here in the second quarter, and Anthony Johnson, a little out of control, recovers and gets the basket. Celtics in the game because they held the Nets to 40%. There's your defensive focus, which you talked about before the game, but those really almost did them in as well.
They're playing much more aggressively and assertively as we see Delk knocking another one. But they've got to start limiting their turnovers. But New Jersey, give them credit. They've responded well to Boston's increased energy.
They certainly have. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by New Jersey. Delk is 7 for 10 from the field and has 16 points. So he is headed for his playoff high right now, and we still have 9:40 remaining in this first half. Johnson, guarded by Bremer, opens up Rogers, and the three-point attempt missed by Lucius Harris. Celtics rotating extremely well. Boston by one, and the ball out of bounds, and it will go over once again. Another Boston turnover. That's 7 in this game, and right now we're going to give the disclaimer that we have to give that no team, Jeff, has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit in an NBA playoff series.
I can't wait till some team does that so we can't say that anymore. So that we have some history on the side of the team coming back.
You have to give it.
Oh, you have to.
Once a game when you're in this situation. Point game, 29-28. Here's Rogers from outside. And knocked out of bounds. And last touch by the Celtics. So here's the story. There have been 37 sweeps. The amazing thing is that with 3-0 leads, only 5 series went to 6 games. And of course this year, the Portland Trailblazers were trailing 3-0, came back to win 3 before losing Game 7.
And they took it right down to the final quarter.
And the pass from Martin into Harris. Good recovery by Lucius Harris in traffic. And the Nets regain the lead by 1. But that ought to put a scare and a reminder. I'm sure Byron Scott reminded his Nets of that series earlier out west when Portland came back to win 3 games. And the pass off the hands of Martin, turning it over to Boston. And a timeout with 8:34 remaining. It's been a nip-and-tuck game as the Nets looking to close it out, get some rest, and prepare for the Eastern Conference Finals. Celtics have other ideas.
Jack Daniel's Original Hard Cola, the premium malt beverage with a refreshingly different cola taste. Come as you are.
Hello, John? Oh, I lost the signal. Go forward, go forward. Hello, hello? Stop! All right, back up. Yeah, right there, that's good. Oh. My boss is gonna kill me.
Searching for a wireless signal your business can count on?
When we're back here.
With Verizon Wireless, you can make business calls on the nation's most reliable wireless network.
Can you hear me now? Good.
For all your company's wireless needs, we mean business. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Come on! That's a nice trick.
Neo, I could use some help. He's doing his Superman thing.
The Matrix Reloaded. Rated R. Starts this Thursday.
The power is in your hands. The Wagner Wide Shot Power Painter. Professional results in about a third of the time. The one and only Wagner Power Painter. For guys who like to run wide open.
When it comes to international espionage,
Who is this?
staying invisible
I don't believe we've met. We still haven't, sir.
means staying alive. See the Art of War. Friday night at 8 on TNT.
Fleet Center in Boston, all the great banners of the Boston Celtics championship years, as the foul committed by Anthony Johnson. As many of the greats, there's John Havlicek sitting next to Chris Ford. Dave Cowens. And Tommy Heinsohn. Danny Ainge has a big legacy now to try to revive even more, although this team been a playoff strong club in the last couple of years. Shot clock beginning to run down. Antoine Walker has no shot. And Pierce open and struggling from the field, although the offensive rebound taken down by Grant Long.
And I like the insertion of Grant Long. Energy, defense, hustle plays to support Pierce and Walker.
And Walker guarded by Harris right now, and the runner by Walker. Long with another offensive rebound. Pierce trying to find it, and he hits the three. Pierce, who suffered a muscle strain of his back leg in the fourth quarter, came out of the game but ran full speed in practice yesterday.
And that second shot, three-point resultant shot, all was because of Grant Long's hard work and effort.
And the ball stripped away from Aaron Williams. And all of a sudden, the Celtics showing a defensive aggressiveness they had not shown in the first three games.
Dick, that's what I was talking about. Get on the floor for a loose ball, and your offense will be better, I promise you.
Posting up against the smaller Anthony Johnson and scores.
There he got the switch again, got a smaller player, Anthony Johnson, on him. Keep running that pick and roll, force the switch and the mismatch so Walker can score in the low post.
Celtics by 4, 34-30. Rogers, Johnson, Martin, Aaron Williams, and Lucius Harris. And here is Rodney Rogers hitting a three from the corner. That's his second of the game, cutting the lead to 1.
Well, he didn't have a great year for New Jersey, but he's played better in the playoffs. And this is what the Celtics missed when they had him last year, is that outside perimeter threat to complement Pierce's greatness.
And Pierce losing the ball, claiming he was fouled. And the Nets going to bring Jason Kidd back in at the next dead ball. Harris has the ball knocked away by Pierce, and Jason Kidd is going to come back in the game. So Kidd with 6 points, including a three-point basket, replaces Anthony Johnson in the New Jersey lineup. And Antoine Walker will come out of the game. And the Celtics with Battie, Eric Williams, Grant Long, Paul Pierce, and Tony Delk. Pick and spot up, and Rogers hits another. 2 3-pointers by Rogers in the different corners of this arena, giving the Nets the lead again.
That's the difficulty of guarding Rodney Rogers when he's set to pick on the ball. If you trap like Boston just did, it's a long rotation to the three-point line to get to Rodney Rogers.
And here's Long open for the jumper. Battie tips it in. Tony Battie with his second field goal, tying the game at 36. Nets with a chance to sweep a playoff series for the first time in their history. They have been swept 7 times themselves. Martin tries to push it off the glass, and the Celtics with a chance to regain the lead. And the net foul will be against Martin. Second personal on Kenyon Martin. And a timeout.
And I love the Celtics effort on the board. They're out-rebounding New Jersey 19-8 because of hustle plays like this by Tony Petit. A great left-handed tip in. If the Celtics effort on the board, they'll be successful tonight.
Introduce yourself to Bacardi Silver 03 Premium Malt Beverage. As much fun as you can have with orange. 5% alcohol by volume. Your night just got more interesting.
Real high, real cold, real time. 50 years ago, Hillary and Norgate climbed to the top of the world. In honor of their great adventure, OLN presents Global Extremes, live from Mount Everest. Danger lurks on every ridge. Oxygen slowly ticks away as the climbers realize this is it. Time to head for the death zone, the thin air, and the summit. Be here for this unprecedented television event. Live from base camp, Global Extremes Mount Everest Forerunners of Adventure, presented by Toyota. Tonight at 10 Eastern, live, DirecTV Channel 608.
Do you require diabetes testing supplies or respiratory nebulizer medications? Did you know that Medicare and many private insurance plans cover these items? Express Med will deliver your supplies and medication directly to your home and bill your insurance carrier. After deductible and copay, there is no charge for our service or for convenient home delivery. We even handle the paperwork and require no upfront costs. You'll feel confident with Express Med. Join our customer family today by calling toll-free 1-800-260-8235.
The NBA playoffs on brought to you by Jeep, the most respected, honored, and heroic out there. And Burger King. The sourdough bacon cheeseburger is back for a limited time at Burger King.
And welcome back to the Fleet Center. The Celtics and the Nets. Game 4 of their best-of-7 Eastern second-round matchup. The Nets leading 3-0. The Nets coming in as the 2nd seed. They won 49 games in the regular season. The Celtics, the 6th seed, upended Indiana. They won 44 during the regular season. And going was Pierce, and he will shoot 2.
Paul Pierce, when he's on the block in deep post position, is so difficult to defend. If you double, the Celtics shoot the 3 very well, and if you give him single coverage against most 2 guards, he's just overpowering. There he created the contact and got himself to the free throw line.
Pierce now with 9 points. Tony leader with 16. And Pierce making both free throws, giving Boston a 38-36 lead. Kidd being defended by Bremer, the rookie from St. Bonaventure, who was not drafted. Here's Rogers, who's been hot from outside and hitting another tray. Rodney Rogers now with his 3rd three-pointer, his 4th field, and the Nets by 1, 39-38. Pierce outside, knocked away by Long, and the Nets will get the ball back. Harry Kittles will be checking. The New Jersey Nets talk about the 3-point shot as Lucius Harris goes to the bench. Harris has scored 4.
6 3-pointers overcomes a lot of things. New Jersey's getting dominated on the board, but Rogers has given them that 3-point push that have put them in the lead, even though Boston's really carried the play so far.
And here's Rogers. They fake the double team. Here is Kidd for 3, and he has another. Jason Kidd now with his 2nd 3. So that's 7 from beyond the arc for the Nets, who lead it now 42-38 in a timeout called by Boston.
Right, Boston can't get discouraged right now because they're being hit by this 3-point barrage. They've got to keep their energy and enthusiasm level up and play through this adversity. right here, this is a very difficult split to cover. Walker goes under the split, which gives Rogers the space to get off that three-point shot. When a man's rolling like he is, you've got to come over the top of that split and force him to put the ball on the ground and drive it to the basket.
Nets were hoping that Rogers would give them just a little bit more of that kind of play during the regular season, although he was a hero in a big win against the Milwaukee Bucks in the last series.
Right, he had a very poor regular season, but he has played better at the end of the regular season and in the playoffs, and Byron Scott and the Nets need his offensive punch to have enough to win it all.
4-point lead, Walker, Pierce, Battie, Bremer, and Eric Williams for the Celtics, and a loose shoe is out there, and it's the man shooting. Bremer misses the three, and Bremer playing with only one shoe and fouls Jason Kidd.
Here on his shot fake, he just runs right out of his shoe, but I give him credit. He was open and he shot it with one shoe. That's confidence.
Well, maybe in Olean at St. Bonaventure, they practiced that kind of deal. Of course, that was one of the strengths he had coming out of college, was his ability to hit the three-point shot.
Absolutely. He's a converted two-guard like Tony Delk, and it's really the main piece that the Celtics are missing, a creative point guard who can make the game easier on Walker and Pierce.
And the offensive foul called against Jason Collins, his second foul. So 2 against Collins, as the Nets right now have 4 of their 5 who started the game. The one exception, Rodney Rogers, who has had the hot hand from 3. 3:48 to go. 4-point lead for the Nets. And here is Walker working his way in. Williams, the 3 from the corner. Eric Williams makes it a 1-point game.
Dick, every time they run the pick and roll with Walker and force the switch, Walker's either scored or forced the double team. There it happened again. Williams got the wide open 3. They've got to milk the plays that are working, and that play is working for them.
And the ball lost for the moment by Kittles, given the pass by Collins, and the Celtics with the ball looking to take the lead again with 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go. And Walker tonight so far has 6 points, but he has 4 assists, so he's getting it done in other ways, and now he's getting it done in the shooting department as he hits a 3, and the Celtics are up by a pair.
It's amazing how much your confidence soars when you get a few layups. Then the perimeter jump shot isn't as difficult.
Antoine Walker playing an active game, and if he's not going to be the dominant scorer, he did average 20 points a game during the regular year. Do the other things. Be a team player. I think you said that at the start of the game.
She's all you'd ever want. She's the kind I'd like to flaunt and take to dinner. But she always knows her place. She's got style, she's got grace. She's a winner. She's a lady. Oh, 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 she's a lady. She's a lady. Talking about the little lady.
To my oldest son, I leave the chateau on the French Riviera. To my only daughter, the Manhattan penthouse. To my youngest son, I bequeath 150 acres of uninhabitable swampland.
Terrible.
Yes!
With its amazing four-wheel drive capabilities, Jeep Grand Cherokee can make even the most unappealing terrain a lot more desirable.
You ready for this? I was made for this. 1, 2, 3.
On June 6th.
Let's see what this thing can do.
It's not what you drive.
We settled this on the blacktop.
It's how you live.
I got a problem with authority.
Too Fast, Too Furious. Rated PG-13.
And we also have the cancel button in case you don't want toast. Excuse me.
Can I help you? What? Can I help you? No, I'm good.
Shake stuff up.
one ever ruled the world. But one man came close. Caesar. Sunday, June 29th at 8 on TNT.
We're getting great production from everybody. I'm coming up short. I didn't step up. I'm hurting this team. Nobody's blame with myself. Look myself in the mirror and bounce back.
Walker's come out and played very well, and the first part of playing well is admitting when you're not playing well. Walker's taken accountability and responsibility and has responded very well tonight.
How about Jason Kidd now? The Nets are now 6 of 7 from threes. Their last 5 field goals have been from on the arc, and now the Celtics, who hit back-to-back threes, it's becoming that kind of a shootout in the waning minutes of the first half. With 2.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter, the Nets lead by 1, 45-44. This was an air ball fired by Williams. The follow by Antoine Walker doesn't work, and now the Nets pushing it up, leading by 1. And Jason Kidd getting it back from Rodney Rogers. Bremer defending Jason Kidd with 9 on the shot clock. Kittle's going baseline against Pierce. And a great play made by Eric Williams to steal the ball, and the Celtics with under 2 minutes remaining. Walker off balance and rushed that shot, and Williams tried to save it, and it will go over to the Nets.
And again, I think the Celtics need to go back to running the Pierce-Walker pick and roll, force the switch, and then post Walker up against smaller players. That has been the most successful play they've had the entire evening.
And it's interesting, once Walker hit the 3, you thought he was back in rhythm, and then he forced a couple of shots. Kidd defended by Bremer, and Kidd hitting a 2-point field goal. Jason Kidd now with 14 points, and is the Nets' high scorer as they raise their lead to 3.
And I'm surprised right now that Bremer's still in the game. This is too tough a matchup for him against Jason Kidd. Plus, Delk keeps the defense more honest than Bremer can.
And Delk has been on the bench a long while. He was the spark early on, and Kidd hitting a 3. Jason Kidd now with another 3-point basket, and it's 50-44 with a minute remaining. And the Nets match their biggest lead of the game. That is the 4th 3-pointer for Kidd. Rodney Rogers also has 4. And Walker driving in. The basket will count, and he gets the foul as well.
A very good response by the Celtics. Get it back to Walker. Walker attacked the basket. Again, he's going to score more often against defenders that aren't Kenyon Martin. There he takes Rogers to the basket and finishes well. Most people don't realize it. Walker is better driving to his left as a right-hander than he is going to his right hand.
5 for 10 from the field, 11 points for Walker, and 4 assists to go with 3 off the glass. Celtics trailing now by 3, 50-47. 45 seconds remain here in the first half. And there is Jason Kidd on the run. Rebound by Walker. Nets are back defensively, however. Rogers defending against Walker. Walker taking it on his own, going in and scoring. A virtuoso effort by Walker. He grabbed the rebound, got the basket, and the Celtics down by 1. The Verizon halftime report coming up. Crowd on its feet. Nets may have the lead, but the Celtics showing tremendous fight here. And the foul is against Tony Delk, who's coming the game. The Celtics had a foul to give. And now 10.7 remaining on the clock.
But Dick, I don't like that foul because it takes the Celtics away from having the last possession. With a 5-second differential, they could have gotten up a good shot.
Here's Jefferson from the front rim. Pierce fires it, and it would have counted had the rim been at the top of the backboard, but it was not. 14 lead changes, and the Nets in a battle. Pierce with 10 points, 3 Celtics in double figures, led by Tony Delk with 16, but Jason Kidd with 17 points, leading the way for the New Jersey Nets, including 4 from three-point range. Let's send it over to Cheryl Miller.
Well, Jason, the Celtics are known for putting up a lot of threes, but you guys were able to knock them down. Were they just open there?
Well, they were open. We took good shots, but we can't fall in love with the three because that can put you in a hole. So we got to, stay aggressive. And we knew it wasn't going to be easy, but, we can keep executing and win each quarter, then hopefully we can get a W.
Talk about their defense, because they've really turned it up a notch. They're contesting every shot, no open looks.
Right, they are. They're coming out with the mindset of being aggressors, and we did that in the first 4 games, or 3 games, I should say, and we got to get back to that. We got to be the aggressors.
All right, good luck in a second.
Thanks, Cheryl.
We'll send it back to you, Dick and Jeff.
All right, Cheryl, so the Celtics showing no indication, nor their fans, that they are ready to pack it in. However, the team in front, the New Jersey Nets, looking to wrap it up. They're in front 50-49 as we send it to our studios. Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, and Charles Barkley. Halftime here at the Fleet Center in Boston. Game 4. The Nets trying to wrap it up, lead the Celtics, who have shown a lot of fight, 50-49 at halftime. And Jeff, your impressions of the first half?
Well, I think the Celtics, even though they're down 1, their effort level's up. They've given up 9 threes, but they're closing out harder, and they've gotten good scoring from Tony Delk. So they're getting it from a number of spots. I like the way they played in this first half.
There's a story today that the Cleveland Cavaliers asked the New York Knicks for permission to talk to this man, Jeff Van Gundy, to possibly be their coach. And already kissing up to him is Carlos Boozer of the Cavaliers, who said, "I'm excited that Van Gundy is one of the candidates. I don't know him personally. I know he's a good coach. He had New York in the playoffs every year, and he's a pretty good commentator too." Pretty good?
He's got to suck up better than that. Pretty good.
I think so.
What's next? He shows some promise? Come on. I mean, if you're gonna suck up, you go all out. You know what I mean?
Would you ever want to coach LeBron James? Be honest.
You know what? Honestly, I've never seen him play 1 minute in 1 game. But from what everyone tells me, he's going to be a star player wherever he goes.
Okay, and with that, here's a look at our Jeep game summary. And the Nets shooting 51%, 9 of 15 from threes, yet their lead is only 1.
Again, I think the Celtics got hit by a barrage of threes, obviously, but I like their effort. 23-11 rebounding the ball. They've gotten to the line more than New Jersey. I think they've totally dominated the play, even though the scoreboard doesn't show it. They've just not shot the ball as well from deep as has New Jersey. But I think if they continue to play with that level of energy and effort, and New Jersey cools off at all, they can win this game.
And the effort is exhibited in the offensive rebounding, where they have a 7-1 edge on the Nets in that department. They've cut their turnovers down. Both teams have 7 right now. Huge edge off the glass. So we'll see what the second half brings, and the Celtics hope that it is not their last half before summer vacation. And the Celtics coming out with their starting group of Tony Delk, Paul Pierce in the backcourt, Tony Battie, Antoine Walker, and Walter McCarty up front. Delk leading with 16, Walker 14, Pierce has 10, 3 in double figures. And here is Pierce inside and getting the first basket. The Nets with Kidd with 17 and Rogers with 12. They're 2 scorers in double figures with Kittles, Kidd, Collins, Jefferson, and Martin.
That's a great start by Boston, getting Pierce deep on the block.
And this shot by Kenyon Martin. Collins harassing Pierce. Good pass from Walker to Tony Battie. Walker with 5 assists in the game.
Again, all the pick and rolls involving Pierce are leading to good shots because they have to double team and force switch, and there are mismatches all over the place. for the Boston Celtics.
Who have a huge edge in points in the paint, 24-6. And they've had a big edge throughout it. And a loose ball, and it's picked up by Walker. Petit slowly getting up and back into play. Walker gives it to the trailer, Tony Petit. And the Celtics, no one underneath, all back on the defensive end. 53-50, Celtics in front. Martin sees an opening and went in for the slam and missed everything. Celtics coming right back. Pierce missing the three. It hit the clock at the top. It'll go over to the Nets as we go over to Cheryl Miller.
Thanks a lot. Dick White spoke to the Celtics assistant coach, Lester Connor, who said that he really liked the effort of the players in the first half and their intensity. He said, second half, we want to continue to pound the glass, continue to make the extra pass in the half-court offense, and limit the turnovers. And, Dick, one quick thing, don't listen to Jeff Van Gundy. He knows he'll take that job if he gets LeBron James.
Kittles, I think he's going to have to make his mind up before that happens.
Hey, Cheryl, what are you like? Mike Fratello getting on me? Come on. You used to be my buddy.
Here is Pierce driving in, and the blocking foul. Basket. No basket, and the foul called against the Nets. It was a block inside by Jason Collins' third.
Again, Walker, Pierce pick and roll. Pierce gets all the way to the rim. Collins was in that semicircle, the restricted area where you cannot take a charge. And so he gets the blocking call. Again, that pick and roll is really being effective for the Celtics.
And Pierce now 6 for 6 from the free throw line. And he's been a one-man gang from the stripe. This is his first of the game. He has been to the line 47 times now in the playoffs. Here is Martin, and the ball nearly taken away by Walker. Kittles, and Kittles nearly lost it. The ball knocked away, and last touch. Good hustle, though, for Boston, and the crowd appreciates it.
Knowledgeable fans appreciate hard work, and here you see intense defense, a star player like Antoine Walker and Walter McCarty going on the floor for loose balls. Fans appreciate that as much as the spectacular highlight real-type plays.
And here's Kittles with the ball back in and out, and the offensive rebound by Collins. And he is fouled inside as personal foul is called against Walker, his second personal foul. Jason Collins on the free throw line. In his second season from Stanford, getting Jefferson and Collins. And then you combine with the former #1 pick Martin. Pretty good front court. Log on to NBA.com or America Online, keyword NBA.com, for the exclusive 2003 playoff section featuring live post-game press conferences, photo galleries, video highlights, and more. Love it live on NBA.com. Jason Collins with his first points of the game. Celtic lead is 2. Celtics needing a win to extend the series to a 5th game, which will take place Wednesday night here on TNT from the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Double team on Pierce, goes behind his back, and another turnover by the Celtics. That's their 8th, but they had 6 of them early on.
And again, they forced the double team by posting Pierce, and then he has to make sure that every pass is on target. He's been a high turnover player in this series so far, averaging over 6 a game.
Jefferson in the paint, going up, and the tip, the tee, over to Delk. Kittles does a good job in preventing the Delk from getting the fast break opportunity. McCarty going back to Pierce. Open is Delk for 2. Tony Delk. Now with 18 in the game, the Celtics have outscored the Nets 12-2, going back to the end of the second quarter, and it's 56-52 in favor of Boston, and we'll have a Boston foul on Pierce.
And Pierce after making the turnover, came back, forced another double team, and then put a perfect pass on Tony Delk's hands. He caught it and shot it in rhythm and knocked it in. A very unselfish play by Paul Pierce.
And Delk could not have had a better look than he did on that shot. Good feed. Collins is fouled. And that will be on McCarty, his third.
Here, Pierce goes to the basket, draws the second defender in Jason Collins, and then puts it right on the money to Tony Delk. And Tony Delk is a knockdown, spot-up jump shooter.
Collins on the line again. And it's 56-53. Game 4 of the best-of-7 Eastern Conference second round, as the Boston Celtics trying to avoid a 4-game sweep lead the New Jersey Nets 56-53. Dick Stockton along with Jeff Van Gundy and Cheryl Miller here at the Fleet Center, and the Nets trying to close it out, as you saw Eric Williams replace Walter McCarty. Under 8.5 to play here in the third quarter. Celtic lead is 2. Biggest lead for both teams is 6 tonight. And Paul Pierce getting on track here now with 15 points. Second to Delk's 18.
Because everything's going at the basket. Terry Flippin, Walker the post made a great baseline cut. Walker very unselfish, and a dunk for Pierce.
1-point lead. And the pass back to Jefferson driving baseline. And Tony Petit was in his way on the pushing foul in second.
Pierce moved without the ball very well. Could have been an offensive foul on Walker. Baseline cut after you throw it into the post is very, very difficult to defend.
So here's Richard Jefferson, who has 6 points in the game. He has scored 20 or more in each of the last 2 playoff games. He had 20 in game 3 and led the Nets to 25. In game 2 of the Meadowlands. 1 out of 2. 4 minutes gone by in the third. The Celtics lead by 3. Kittle's defending Pierce, and the pass picked off by Kenyon Martin. And Martin, with a bad pass to Richard Jefferson, turns it over right back to the Celtics.
Again, if you don't have the right person in the middle of the floor handling the ball, which is Jason Kidd, your rate of turnovers is going to go up. They've got to find him. He'll make the right play. The other men should just fill the wings.
Martin defending against Antoine Walker, who has 14 points tonight. Walker with the fall away, tipped out into the hands of Kidd. 2 on 3 for the Nets. It doesn't bother Kidd. He goes in and a block by Petit, out of bounds, and it's last touched by the Celtics. So despite the fact that the Celtics had the numbers defensively, Kidd challenged them. And the foul is ultimately called against Petit, his third.
Jason Kidd's a one-man fast break, splits 2 defenders, and then Petit gets the ball on a nice block until he followed through and hit Kidd upside his head.
Mark Blount getting set to come in the game. He gave the Celtics 8 solid minutes off the bench in the first half. Kidd makes both free throws. Kidd now with 19. And is the high scorer in the game. Celtics though lead by 1, 7:20 remaining. Blount is still at the scorer's table, will come in at the next dead ball. Eight on the shot clock. Pierce makes a pass, drives in, batted out, and Kidd has it. And against 3 defenders, Jason Kidd goes behind to Jefferson. What a play by Jason Kidd. 3 Celtic defenders were under the basket. Tony Petit comes up limping a bit, and Kidd with a terrific play, giving the Nets the lead 59-58, and the Celtic center, Tony Petit, is shaken up.
Kidd is as fast with the ball as without. That should have been a travel. He came down before he passed it. A great look, but an obvious travel.
told you she had a boyfriend.
The Hyundai Tiburon, with America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. When you can be counted on, you win.
$35 million worth of gold.
He betrayed his friends.
What are you doing?
Made a few plans of my own. On May 30th, it's time for payback.
Are you ready?
Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron, Edward Norton.
Blew the element of surprise. Surprised?
The Italian Job. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, May 30th.
I'm all shook up. Yeah. Well, my hands are shaky and my knees are weak. I can't seem to stand on my own 2 feet. Who do you think of when you have such luck? I'm in love. I'm all shook up. I'm all shook up.
The NBA playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Hyundai. When your car comes with America's best warranty, you win. And Amstel Light, the beer drinkers like beer.
Blockbuster doubleheader on TNT coming out of the West tomorrow. Sacramento against Dallas. Teams are tied 2 apiece, and the Spurs are at home against the LA Lakers. In Game 5 of that series, 7 o'clock it all starts. The Kings play the Dallas Mavericks, and then the Lakers against the Spurs. How do you size up those 2 great series right now, Jeff?
Well, I think particularly the Spurs have a lot of pressure on them in Game 5. They didn't get that Game 4 win, and I think Tim Duncan's got to solve how to score against Shaquille O'Neal when O'Neal's on him, and I think Duncan has to play more efficiently down the stretch. Too many misses, too many turnovers.
You think the Spurs missed a great opportunity in that game?
I do, because it took away their cushion. If they were able to finish off that Game 4 and play with a cushion, they could play looser. I have a feeling that they're going to feel the pressure of Game 5.
And there you see the numbers of Duncan and Kobe Bryant. That'll be tomorrow at 9:30, the second half of our TNT doubleheader. Kittle's committing the foul, and Paul Pierce makes both free throws. 8 of 9 from the field as the Celtics regain the lead by 1. Well, so far Kenyon Martin off to a slow start. 2 of 7 from the field, only 4 points after having 3 brilliant games, trying to get on track himself. Missing again in the paint. Rebound by Blount. Here's Pierce, and tying them up was Kenyon Martin, and we'll have a jump ball. Good move by Kenyon Martin to just stay on his feet and grab the ball.
Again, a brush screen by Walker forces a switch, and then Pierce reverses direction. But Walker is like a perimeter defender. He can move his feet with anyone.
And Walker and Kittles going at it, and Walker was not sure who shoved whom, but they were waiting for the jump ball, and they're going to call technicals on both Antoine Walker and Kerry Kittles, and that calms that down. Tip controlled by New Jersey. Jason Kidd with Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson, Jason Collins, and Kerry Kittles. That's the defending Eastern Conference champions, and the pass inside and the foul. And Eric Williams winds up on the floor and commits the foul. Here's where that started.
Well, that's much ado about nothing. I don't know why they would be getting into it over that. But they have to realize every player on the floor, when something like that happens, the referees will tend to call it much, much closer. Thus, when Williams tried to front the post, he got the foul. Both teams have to be more conscious now after that altercation of moving their feet and playing without fouling.
Jefferson hits one free throw. The Celtics already in the penalty. But that's only 2 team fouls with just under 6 minutes remaining in the third. Tied at 60. Celtics have to win or the season is over for them. And they are locked in a tough struggle here at home. Eric Williams penetrating inside and is fouled. Jason Collins defending him down low, and Collins committing his 4th personal. Makes the first one as Aaron Williams reports, replacing Collins, who goes out with the 4. Williams, a 79% free throw shooter, gives the Celtics a 62-60 lead. Biggest lead for either team, 6 points. Celtics' biggest lead in the series was only 8, but it's a tight game, a stay-alive game effort for Boston. And they've been equal to the task, but New Jersey can't complain where they are right now. 8 on the shot clock. Jefferson losing his footing in the paint, and a very tough shot. Nearly slipped in the lane.
That's tremendous athleticism to be able to keep his balance and step through against 2 defenders and make a tough little half hook.
Game again tied at 62. 9 on the shot clock. And here is Tony Delk. Long rebound, and Martin grabs it, quickly gets it out to Kidd. Kidd to Williams, filling the lane, and Aaron Williams and the Celtics have to watch out for the easy transition baskets that the Nets are picking up here.
Exactly. New Jersey's doing a better job of running the floor and attacking the basket. Boston's concentration has to come up to defend against the easy basket.
Nets with the lead, and it's tied again as Eric Williams forces into the lane to tie it at 64.
An underrated post player, Williams is. Again, strong left shoulder tendency. Did a good job of backing Jefferson in.
Started most of the year in the first 2 games of the playoffs, giving way to McCarty, and the drive to the basket by Kenyon Martin, and they're going to call the offensive foul on Martin, his 3rd personal.
Martin's a very strong left-handed driver. Blunt anticipated the drive, clearly established legal guarding position, and took the offensive foul. Blunt has been very, very active so far in this game on the board and with his help defense.
And a hand for Eric Williams, who goes out of the game, replaced by Walter McCarty. Williams has 7 points off the bench for the Celtics.
And Dick, I like this move by Jim O'Brien, going to the more veteran Bimbo Coles instead of staying with Brimmer. Brimmer was just clearly overmatched on the floor.
Coles in his 13th year from Virginia Tech, and Pierce dribbles it off his foot. Terry Kittles comes back with the slam, and the Nets are up 66-64.
And again, that's Paul Pierce's 6th turnover in this game. They forced the switch. He should have just gone right to Antoine Walker after the pick and roll was switched for an easy basket.
And McCarty fakes the pass, hits a big 3. Walter McCarty, who has hit 6 of 14 3-pointers coming into this game. And the Celtics are up by 1, 67-66. Crowd got a little dip for a while. Now they're back into it. With 3:20 to go, Martin inside is fouled as Blunt tried to defend him and get a piece of the ball.
Here, Pearson forced a switch. You see Walker having inside position on Kittles, tried to do a little too much. He can beat Martin off the dribble, but the better play there, continue to post Antoine Walker against the smaller Kerry Kittles.
And checking in Grant Long, another veteran, 15-year veteran, and Antoine Walker will go out of the game. Walker has scored 14 points. Kenyon Martin trying to give the Nets the lead again if he can make these 2 free throws. Want to remind you, Game 6 tomorrow in the West on TNT, starting at 8 o'clock on ABC on Thursday. That's on the ABC schedule, the Spurs and the Lakers, and 10:30 on ESPN, the Mavericks and the Kings. Those are Thursday game 6s. Tomorrow night, you'll see the game 5s on TNT. Garden misses the second, and the score remains tied at 67. Bimbo Coles defended by Kidd with 10 on the shot clock, and Harris trying to stop Pierce on the drive, holds him, and the personal is on Harris. 4th team foul against the Nets with 3:03 remaining here in the third.
And Boston, because of its desperation, has an unusual lineup on the floor for them. Coles at the point, Long's in the game. Jim O'Brien is searching for the spark and some sort of lineup that can get enough scoring but enough defensive tenacity on the floor.
And Blunt tried a pass to a driving Bimbo Coles, and the whistle blew. It appeared at first to be a net pickoff and the turnover by the Celtics.
And they're discussing right
kick
here
ball.
if that was a kickball. And I like this officiating. Hugh Hollins had called a kick, but he took some help from his partners, Joey Crawford and Bill Spooner. Obviously not a kick. Their job is to get the call right. They did a very good job of working together as a team. And these officials are doing an excellent job.
Hugh Hollins retiring after the playoffs following a 27-year career.
Atkins pulls it away with Wallace.
Make room for the Amstel Light 12-pack.
Mom, Dad, we're here. Oh, great.
Oh.
The Hyundai Sonata with America's best warranty.
Boy, am I hungry.
When life keeps getting better, you win.
Make room for the Amstel Light 12-pack.
Warning, the following stunts were performed by professionals. Do not attempt anything from this movie. Right now on pay-per-view, check out all the stuff you can't see anywhere else. Jackass, the movie, now on pay-per-view.
Blockbuster pay-per-view movies. Tune to the 100s and order with your remote.
I love DirecTV.com. I can do all kinds of things in one convenient place. Anytime, day or night. I can pay my bill, I can order programming packages, even pay-per-view movies. You've got to try it. It's really easy. In fact, I just ordered 3 romantic comedies. Don't tell anyone, but they're my husband's favorite.
Honey, who are you talking to?
USA Today is the place for a comprehensive look around the league. Get all the latest scores, stats, standings, and daily game recaps to keep you up to date with your favorite teams and players. So pick up your copy of USA Today every day.
Jim, to use credit, he came to me. I said there wasn't a kick, Antoine. You came to me. There was not a kick, Jim. We got to play right.
And that was excellent officiating. Obviously, a misstated call by Hugh Hollins, and as Joey Crawford pointed out, to Hugh Hollins' credit, he wasn't stubborn. He was more concerned with getting the play right. They got it right. Would they like to get it right on the first one? Absolutely. But the main thing is they got the call right, New Jersey's basketball. Terrific job by this crew. 2:45 remaining in the third quarter, tied at 67. Blount defending Kenyon Martin, and Martin with the drive, and the rebound by Antoine Walker. Celtics playing a lot more spirited tonight, but they got to win the game to stay alive, and right now it's a tie game. So with all of their improved play, they're still deadlocked. Here is Walker with 7 on the shot clock, knocked away by Kenyon Martin. Good defensive play again. Martin has dominated Walker throughout this series in their matchup. And I don't like that play because you're going at their strength. Run the pick and roll, force the switch, and then post up. Aaron Williams fouled by Blount. Martin's an excellent one-on-one defender. Very good at stripping down on the ball right there before the ball gets above Walker's shoulders. Again, I think that is not giving the defense enough credit. Martin's their best individual defender. Force the switch, get Walker down there on a smaller guard. And I know I've belabored this point, Dick. Run the pick and roll to force the switch and then post Walker up. Sooner or later, they will listen to you, Jeff. No, the coaches don't need to listen to me. I just know that Jim O'Brien and his staff have done such a good job. They realize that that's working, but the players instinctively have to flow into that. Aaron Williams with the free throws. Celtics lead, or trail now, 69-67, under 2 minutes to go. Here's a good pass to Blount from Pierce. And we're tied again at 69. Jim O'Brien said he was shocked that Kenyon Martin did not make the first team all-defensive squad. He was named to the second team. Here's Jason Kidd. Knew he had missed, went after it on the front rim, but the Celtics have it back and a chance to take the lead with nearly a minute and a half remaining in the third. And Hugh Hollins is going to call a double foul. Lucius Harris of the Nets and Paul Pierce, and that's going to hurt the Celtics. That will be Pierce's 4th personal foul, Jeff. Are we sure that was on Pierce? I thought it was on Walker, which would be Walker's 3rd. Is it Walker?
It's
okay.
Walker, right.
Yeah,
Walker's
it was that pick and roll, so they were in the same vicinity. There's the switch I'm talking about. Now get it to him.
And they were a little late getting it to him. And so Walker, who just picked up his 3rd foul on the double foul. And the Nets now lead at 71-69.
And again, that's inexcusable. That's inexcusable to give up a transition basket after a foul.
So the foul was on Walker, his 4th. Here is Pierce. Pierce going into Blount. Batted away by Kenyon Martin with 10 on the shot clock and a minute remaining here in the third quarter.
That's a great play by Martin. Again, Pierce did a nice job of finding Blount on the pick and roll. Celtics wanted goaltending, but I thought that was a good block.
Bimbo Coles defended by Kidd. Under a minute remaining and the 3 on the shot clock. Here's Coles wide open, missing the 3-point attempt. The Nets with a 2-point lead. Kidd coming back for 2. And McCarty grabbing the rebound, getting it out to Antoine Walker. Differential, about 18 seconds between the 2 clocks. McCarty going back to Coles. And he misses again. Blount with the offensive rebound against Aaron Williams. Coles knocking it out of bounds. So the Celtics had some big opportunities in the last couple of possessions.
And that's the trouble. Bimbo Coles has been on the bench for so long in the season. To ask him to knock those shots down is difficult. He's playing much better defense on Kidd, but Jim O'Brien was extremely upset with Mark Blount that after he got that offensive rebound, he didn't throw it out for the Celtics to take the last shot.
Speaking of the last shot, the Nets in that position right now. Kidd scooping it up, the rebound, and Pierce with a baseball toss, and that will do it, ending the third quarter with the Nets up by 2. Kenyon Martin with his defensive performances tonight, only 7 points and 4 rebounds, but getting a job done on the defensive end. So after 3 here at the Fleet Center, the Nets trying to win 4 in a row over the Celtics, are leading Boston 71-69.
The only love I have in my
Jay.
life. So don't tell me who to love. You have no idea how I feel.
Excuse me.
He's leaving.
Sensational play.
What?
They're down by 10 at the half. Now they come.
Excuse me. Damn.
When it comes over me, and I totally lose control, I like it. Sure you're okay? I've never felt better.
At theaters Friday, June 20th. The power is in your hands. The Wagner Wide Shot Power Painter. Professional results in about a third of the time. The one and only Wagner Power Painter. For guys who like to run wide open.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
If you're driving around with worn-out brake pads on your car, that's dangerous. Get to AutoZone for a new set of brakes today. Get in the zone.
AutoZone.
From coast to coast starting May 19th. If you don't click it, expect a ticket. Cops write tickets because seatbelts save lives. So click it or ticket.
Champions ride Hondas. Now and in the future. The Honda XRs. They're a head start.
Even though Kenyon Martin has not had his best statistical night, he's an energy and an effort player. They're taking the lob from Lucius Harris and then coming over with great weak side help and erasing a sure two by Mark Blount. Kenyon Martin, as much as Kidd, is the pulse of the New Jersey Nets because of his athleticism, energy, and commitment to defense.
Former #1 draft pick in the entire draft out of the University of Cincinnati. We start the fourth, crowd on its feet. Now or never for Boston, and the Nets with the lead, trying to close it out. And there is the backdoor pass, Harris from Martin, and the Nets lead 73-69. The Celtics with Delton and Pierce at guard, McKee, McCarty, and Eric Williams up front.
Great execution coming out of the quarter break by Byron Scott's team, getting a backdoor layup.
And here is Pierce to Delp. Delp was the scoring giant early in the game for the Celtics. Here is McKee with the one-hander on the turnaround. Rogers the rebound. Rodney Rogers with Kidd, Martin, Aaron Williams, and Lucius Harris. And there is Kenyon Martin hitting the jumper. And the Nets right now showing the same kind of play they used against Milwaukee when they had a chance to wrap it up on the road in the first series.
And right here, Boston's got to show their resolve and find a way to stay close going down the stretch.
Williams going up, and the basket counts and a foul. Eric Williams, who, as we said, started 79 games this year, fouled and a chance for the three-point play.
Eric Williams has a tremendous first step to his right. He's very good facing up at 12 or 15 feet, isolating or backing in from the low post position.
Foul was on Rodney Rogers, his third of the game. And Williams missing the free throw. He has 9 points, and the Nets leading by 4. Nets trying to gain a series sweep in the playoffs for the first time in their history. Rogers faked the three. Kidd fires it up, and the rebound by Williams for the Celtics.
And that's where the lack of a true point guard really hurts the Celtics. They could have had a fast break, but no one feels real comfortable in the middle of the floor in transition.
Kenny Anderson traded for Vin Baker. And the tee open. This is the open shot. And this is what has really plagued the Celtics earlier in the series, missing the open shots, leading the transition situations.
Absolute good play by Delk. Wide open shot by Petit. You got to knock those in to win games.
2 minutes gone by. Nets by 4. Celtics have to watch out for a New Jersey run right here, and they'll call an offensive foul against Lucius Harris, running into Paul Pierce as we check in with Cheryl Miller.
Thanks a lot, Dick. Well, before the game, I spoke to Eric Williams. He said, look, if we have any type of urgency in our bodies, we better bring it. He said the pressure's on New Jersey to close us out. All we want to be are spoilers. We want to make history, and guys, they do not want to go home for the summer break.
No, they don't, and they're not playing as if they want to. That was Harris's 4th foul. I don't know if the pressure is on New Jersey, though. That I would argue it. Here is Eric Williams with the turnaround. Gets his own rebound with a fake on Aaron Williams and gets the foul.
That's great effort by Eric Williams, even though that's convoluted thinking about who the pressure is on. But he's doing an excellent job creating havoc around the basket with his post-ups and effort for second shots.
He has 9 points in the game now, 10, and 3 of his 4 rebounds are on the offensive glass. Jim O'Brien, whose Celtics upended the Indiana Pacers, who were favored in round 1, trying to stay alive against the New Jersey Nets, who have a 5-game playoff winning streak. They won the last 2 against the Bucks to win that one in 6. 3-0 lead here. Here is Harris in and out, and Petit getting the rebound. The Celtics killing the Nets off of the glass by more than a 2-to-1 ratio. Here is Williams, and Williams is pushed. Eric, that is. So this is a spirited effort after New Jersey got on a run, and it looked like they were starting to get into a rhythm. The Celtics stopped that in a hurry.
And Eric Williams single-handedly, with his post-ups and drives, is getting New Jersey into the penalty early. He's got to keep attacking the basket.
13 foul and the 4th personal on Kenyon Martin. Here is Tony Delk. And Delk fires and hits. Delk now with 20 points, 12 coming in the first quarter, where he hit 2 3-pointers, and the game is tied at 75. Crowd chanting defense, and that's what the Celtics used to start the game. Rogers faking the 3, driving down one-handed play, and Harris trying to save it, but he saves it to Walker. 3-on-1 break with only Kidd back. Walker from Pierce, and the Celtics lead by 2.
Good offense leads to transition opportunities. A great finish by Walker and Pierce.
And a timeout called by the Nets as Byron Scott wants to talk it over. This crowd on its feet. Antoine Walker scoring his first points here in the second half.
Over me, and I totally lose control. I like it.
All the rage, all the power. Unleash the fury. Hulk, the game. Available May 30th. Rated T for teen. When it comes to international espionage,
who is this?
Staying invisible.
I don't believe we've met. We still haven't, sir.
Means staying alive. See The Art of War. Friday night at 8 on TNT.
Peace. Be still.
He calmed the waters. He healed the sick. He raised the dead. He brought peace to all who had faith in him. This is the message of a compelling video, Finding Faith in Christ. You can now have a free copy when you call this number. As you watch Finding Faith in Christ, you'll feel the tender peace he brought to his followers nearly 2,000 years ago. You'll also discover how strengthening your faith in him today can bring this same peace to your life. Finding Faith in Christ is a gift to you from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints at no cost or obligation. Just call this number or talk to your Mormon neighbor for a free copy. Call now and discover how Finding Faith in Christ can bring greater peace to your life.
The only time the Celtics were swept in a 7-game series back in 1983 when they lost to the Milwaukee Bucks 4-0. Sidney Moncrief and Marcus Johnson were the big guns. Larry Bird led the Celtics in scoring, rebound, and assists. The average margin of victory nearly 12 points as Milwaukee took it to Boston. One of the rare occasions that has happened. In fact, the only other time the Celtics were swept was back in 1989 in the best-of-5 series when the Pistons shut out the Celtics 3-0. But this crowd acting like they expect to come back for maybe even a Game 6. 8:20 remaining, and the Nets had a 75-69 lead, and in 2.5 minutes, the Celtics have outscored them 8-0 to take the lead, and Kenyon Martin off the glass.
The Celtics, the big difference tonight is their level of intensity on the defensive end and on the board. Offense still hit and miss, but their intensity is carrying.
Paul Pierce, 19. Delk and Pierce, the starting backcourt, have 39 points between them, and the Celtics are up by 4. Aaron Williams, defended by Batie in the low post, gets it back from Harris. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Aaron Williams. Celtics are contesting every shot right now.
Absolutely. Doing a great job finishing their defense with a contest and a rebound.
Walker stepping back, driving against Rogers. Off the rim, and here comes a 3-on-3. When you have Kidd, you really have the numbers, but this time he misses the shot, gets the rebound. And here's Harris. He misses a 3, and Pierce getting the rebound for the Celtics. This crowd is coming forced to will the Celtics to avoid a sweep tonight and send this series to a Game 5. But Delk loses it to Kidd, and Batie commits the foul. And the question is, was it a clear path foul? And that's what Hugh Hollins and Joey Crawford are discussing.
It absolutely was a clear path foul. Should result in one free throw, and the Nets having the ball on the side. And here's Walker taking it to the rim, and then gets on the ground as Kidd goes down the other end.
And you're right, it was clear path all the way.
Kidd gets the steal, and Batie fouls him from behind, which is a clear path violation. If Batie wanted to foul him and not result in a free throw, he needed to be in front of him and then make the foul. Clearly, Batie was behind, thus the clear path foul.
Jason Kidd has 20 points, but he is 0 for 6 from the field here in the second half.
And I think a lot of that credit should go to Jim O'Brien. He's kept Tony Delk on the floor, who's a good defender, and Bimbo Coles instead of Brimmer, who Brimmer is a good young player, but Coles is a more veteran, experienced defender.
Here is Harris beating Martin. Ball knocked away. And the Celtics right now doing it with defense, leading 79-76. 6:42 remaining in the fourth. Celtics need a victory to extend this series. Here is Eric Williams. Great spin move against Jefferson on the baseline. And the lead is 5 now for Boston.
He's dominated this quarter offensively with his post-up and isolation play.
13 for Eric Williams off the bench for Boston. And here is Kidd jumping out to meet him is Walker. Collins has it blocked by Battie, who gets hit in the face, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Celtics.
And at the half, New Jersey was shooting 51% and is now down to 41%. The Celtics are playing great defense, and even were in the first half, just New Jersey had some very fortunate bounces led to baskets.
And Jefferson again with a difficult jump shot, and a timeout is called. Tony Battie, who was shaken up earlier, is down, and the rest of the Celtics going over to talk to Battie. Remember, Battie was limping earlier.
Yeah, Battie on that drive, I don't know if it was his ankle or if he got hit in the mouth again. It's hard to see. All I know is he's down and he's in pain.
He had a sore knee that had been bothering him, and now up on his own power as we take a timeout. Being helped off.
You might want to lose the suit.
They're ready for the NBA playoffs, are you? The NBA playoffs are on TNT, but you can still catch the drama of Law & Order weeknights on TNT.
Reading can take you places you've always dreamed of going. And book by book, the NBA and WNBA are helping children get closer to reaching those dreams.
Them both across the water to a big ship.
The NBA family has created more than 60 reading and learning centers, donating hundreds of thousands of books, and have given children a place where they can gain the tools they need to achieve their dreams. Because when you love to read, you can become anything you want. Be part of the success and read to achieve.
The all-new 265 horsepower Nissan Maxima.
On May 30th,
we're looking for Neymar.
The search is on.
Grab Sheldon.
After countless miles.
Your exit's coming up! A swirling vortex of terror!
After endless dangers.
Nice.
One fish will go where no fish has gone before.
Hop inside my mouth if you want to live.
Yeah, right. Walt Disney Pictures presents a Pixar Animation Studios film.
I'm coming, Nemo!
Finding Nemo, rated G.
Hey, no hurling on the shell, dude, okay? Just waxed it.
Thanks for putting it up for me.
No problem.
Sure looks great.
Here we go. Yeah, I bet this happens all the time.
And here are tonight's Budweiser headlines. And of course, we have not had any sweeps yet. The Celtics want to keep it that way. 3 of the 4 second-round series knotted at 2 apiece. The big shootout. Doubleheader tomorrow in the West on TNT, Jeff.
And it'll be interesting to see how the Mavericks respond playing at home against an injured Kings team if they can keep the pace they've had going so far in Sacramento.
Pierce missing a 3. The rebound by Kenyon Martin. 81-76, the Celtics in front. New Jersey hit 9 threes in the first half, but they are 0 for 3 from downtown here in the second. Big weapon not there. Kidd hitting the jumper. That's his first field goal here in the second half, and it cuts the Celtic lead to 3. Walter McCarty checking in for Tony Battie, who was helped off and then ran and limped off really into the locker room. 10 on the shot clock, and here is Pierce. And the whistle before the shot, and there will be a New Jersey foul on Kerry Kittle.
That's a great inside pivot by Pierce, creating space from Kittles to create the contact, and now that's the 4th team foul. Boston will be shooting the penalty from now on. A big, important step for them to win this game. Get to the free throw line.
Kittle's defending Pierce. Pierce working in. Pump fake. And good defense by Kittles that time. He did not go for the fake. The ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Boston.
That was excellent defense by Kittles. Didn't bite on the first shot fake, didn't bite on the second one, and then contested Pierce as high as he could possibly contest, forcing the miss.
Under 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Celtics with the turnover as Pierce gets the ball away. And Pierce, nowhere to go with it, throws it back into the hands of Kittles. And the Celtics get it back. Nobody wants it right now. As we have had 3 turnovers in 3 possessions. Here's Eric Williams. He's been a force in the second half. And the three-pointer by Tony Dell. Tony Dell hitting another 3, his 3rd of the game. And it ties the biggest lead for the Celtics of 6 points with 4:15 to go. Dell has 3 three-pointers tonight. And Walker steals it from Kittles, who fouls Antoine.
And again, they went back, the Celtics did, to the isolation for Williams. And Williams does a great job seeing the cross-court pass to Dell. McCarty sets a great screen on Jefferson to lead to the open 3. And then Walker did a great job defending the pick and roll, forced the turnover, and then forced Kittles to foul Walker and get to the line for 2.
And the penalty in effect right now with 4:10 remaining, and the Celtics have committed only 1 team foul. So here is Antoine Walker, who has come alive here in Game 4. Don't forget Kings and Mavericks tomorrow at 7 p.m., followed by the Lakers and the Spurs. 2 gems out of the Western Conference, both series tied 2 apiece on TNT. Walker with 18 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, has made a huge comeback in this one. And the Celtics have their biggest lead of the game, 8 now, 86-78. Winding to 4 minutes remaining. Here is Jefferson feeding Kittles. Pretty play by Kerry Kittles.
Great dish by Jefferson, and Boston's got to do a better job against Jefferson, keeping him out of the middle of the floor on his dribble drive penetration.
Celtics by 6, and Walker throws the ball away, and Kittles picks it away, and the Celtics will get it back. Here's Cheryl Miller.
Well, Dick, as you had mentioned about Tony Batiste being bothered with that sore right knee all season long, he will not return. He has a bruised right knee, guys.
All right, Cheryl, thank you very much. So Celtics going without Batiste the rest of the way. And here is Pierce. McCarty stepping behind for 3. And the rebound by Jefferson. And here is Kidd working his way in for the lay-in. Jason Kidd quiet early in this second half, starting to come on offensively, has 24 points, cutting the lead to 4. And Walker trapped, losing it, and the Nets will get it back, and Martin will call the timeout. It'll be a 20-second timeout as the Celtics getting careless down the stretch.
That's 2 turnovers for Walker in the last 3 possessions. 1 on an ill-advised pass on the back cut to Williams, and then Martin doing a great job cutting off Walker as Kidd comes over to double team and then hits the floor for the loose ball. Dick, I love when star players like Kidd and Walker and Martin are on the ground, getting down and dirty, showing how much they want to win basketball games in the playoffs.
Last year, these teams fought it out in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Nets winning in 6. They fell behind 2-1 in the series as the Nets lost a 21-point lead in Game 3, the largest collapse in NBA playoff history. Came back strong to beat Boston, and then went on and was swept by the Lakers. Major League Baseball action returns to TBS Friday night at 10 as the Braves take on the San Diego Padres. And as always, Aaron Andrews keeps you up to date around the league from TBS Sports Control. 3:05 remaining in regulation. Kidd inbounding. He's got Kittles, Martin, Collins, and Jefferson, the starting 5. Under 3 minutes. Martin with the one-hander. And the rebound follow-up cuts the lead to 2.
And Boston has gone small with the T being injured. They've gone with Walker as their center, McCarty as their power forward. It's going to be very difficult for them to protect the basket.
And the foul is made, and right now the Nets trying to take over the defensive force of this game from the Celtics. The foul is on Kerry Kittles, his 4th.
And here Martin does a good job. Dribble drive, shoots a little floater, and then got a great quick second jump and finishes it off with the dunk to cut the lead for Boston to 2.
Tradition.
The look on the other guy's face. To be my own Manning.
Being a woman.
Because last year, I couldn't.
Millions of little girls.
Every athlete is fueled by something.
This Memorial Day, Jim Carrey is Bruce Almighty.
I swear my boobs are bigger.
Rated PG-13. At theaters Friday, May 23rd.
Like sourdough bread, burgers just taste better cooked over an open fire. This burger is so juicy.
The sourdough bacon cheeseburger is back at Burger King. A 1/4 pound of beef, Swiss cheese, and 4 strips of bacon served on buttery toasted sourdough bread. Only back for a limited time.
This month, take a voyage into fear. For just $4.99, catch a frightening double feature starring 2 tales of horror and suspense on the open sea.
We have got to get off this boat now.
First, book a passage to terror on board Ghost Ship. Then, hold your breath and watch Nicole Kidman in the suspense classic, Dead Calm. That's 2 spine-chilling movies for the low price of $4.99. Only on Blockbuster Pay-Per-View Movies. Set sail now.
It's the most exciting wrestling show in the world. NWA Total Non-Stop Action. Now, catch the moments that made TNA Wrestling the Wednesday night phenomenon. The shocking surprises, the biggest matches, the wildest moments. TNA Genesis. Available in the month of May at a special price on pay-per-view.
Playoff basketball, it's different than the regular season.
Over 40 games in 40 nights. TNT, exclusive home of the NBA Western Conference Finals. Win or go home. The drama of the NBA playoffs continues on TNT.
TNT.
Tonight's Lamisel lessons in footwork. Well, we've had a few players coming out of their shoes here in Game 4. Rodney Rogers. J.R. Bremer and Paul Pierce. But Jeff, as we look at a shoe on the floor, I hope no one throws a shoe. Gut check time in this game.
Absolutely. The will of the Celtics has got to carry the day right here for them to extend this series.
Pierce making the first. The Nets trailed by 8 with 4.5 to go, but they ran off 6 straight points before Pierce's free throw. Trying to go 9 for 10 from the line, and he does. Pierce with 21 in the game, and the Celtics by 4. 2.5 to play, regulation. Kittles, the kid guarded by Delp. Picked up by Williams on the switch, back to Delp. Feed inside, ball knocked away. Last touch by the Nets. Pierce handling the ball and guarded by Kittles. 15 on the shot clock. Pierce driving in, puts it up and going after the loose ball, but the Nets have it. They have a 4-on-3. Kidd lays it up, misses. Collins follows.
And that's just not knowing the shot clock. They had fouls to give. They should have gotten the Kidd early, taken a foul, and make him take it out on the side instead of leaving Kidd to drive it, miss, and Collins to finish.
Again, a 2-point game. Celtics fans on their feet. Antoine Walker, nowhere to go on McCarty. Looking inside, underneath the rim. And the Nets again 3-on-2 with a fast break opportunity and a kickball with 1:38 on the clock.
Right here with a disadvantage in numbers, Delk should have taken the foul. Instead, Kidd continues on, misses the layup, but the penetration created the second shot for Collins.
And the Nets looking to tie it up or take the lead. Here's Martin. And Eric Williams banging, and Kenyon Martin with all his toughness ties it up at 88. So this has been a terrific net comeback. 1:20 to go. They were down by 8.
Again, Eric Williams a little too small for Kenyon Martin in the post. That's going to be a difficult cover for him.
And a timeout called by Jim O'Brien as the Nets, with a 10-2 run, have quieted this crowd. 1:11 remaining. That's how far the Nets are from a sweep. Celtics need a victory to keep this thing going.
Life got simple the day I plugged into the big brown machine. West Coast overnight, done. China, 48 hours, done. Brown picks it all up together and delivers it all on time. And with that global tracking system, I get the proof. It isn't that I'm not a trusting person. Yes, it is.
International Overnight Ground. Synchronized. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
From coast to coast starting May 19th. If you don't click it, expect a ticket. Cops write tickets because seatbelts save lives. So click it or ticket.
Tied at 88, 1:11 to go. Nets lead it 3-0. What do you observe here in the last moments and what you've seen?
Well, Dick, I think it was an excellent timeout by Jim O'Brien. Celtics were discombobulated offensively. I think they should go back to the Pierce, Walker pick and roll, or the Pierce Williams pick and roll to create a switch and a mismatch. Down at the other end, Eric Williams is going to have a lot of trouble handling Kenyon Martin in the low post.
Celtics have 1 full and 1 22nd timeout plus 1 foul to give. The Nets have 2 full timeouts remaining. And the foul is against Terry Kittles, 5 on him.
And a great move by Pierce to force the official to make a call on the contact and earn his way to the free throw line.
Where he is 10 of 11. And looking to give the Celtics the lead with 1:05 remaining. I want to remind you, coming up next, Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai with EJ, Kenny Charles, and Magic, of course. Post-game coverage and interviews and a preview of tomorrow's big Western Showdown on TNT. 1 free throw, and it's 89-88. Under a minute. And Kittles going in the corner to Jefferson. Trapped there. Kittles defended by McCarty. 4 on the shot clock now. And here is Jefferson with Pierce in his face. And the follow-up is good by Kittles. Just as the buzzer sounded.
Great defense by the Celtics. Didn't finish it off with the rebound.
Nets lead by 1. Under a half a minute to go. And 10 in the shot clock. Nets are that close to a sweep. Here is Pierce. McCarty missing the 3, and Williams getting the rebound and a foul. And that's what remains. 17.2 left in their season. As Eric Williams goes to the line. Foul is on Jason Kidd, only his first. Williams 4 of 5 from the stripe tonight. Now for the lead.
Dick, I think Jim O'Brien should consider putting a bigger player like Blount in for the defensive stand in order to be able to get Walker back on Martin and a bigger body in there to rebound and prevent second shots.
And 1 out of 2. So again, the Celtics missing critical free throws down the stretch. Twice they have missed the second half of the free throws. The score is tied at 90. The Nets call a timeout with 16 seconds remaining in regulation.
And now the toughest leg of the strongman competition, Norm. The Bud Light Industrial Fridge Pull.
Jim, that's 1,000 pounds of pure hernia that they'll try to drag across.
Sorry to interrupt, Norm, but it looks like a fan from the stands has stolen the Bud Light. Oh! A huge hit from out of nowhere. And this guy's got the foot speed to take this thing all the way. Oh, man!
Come in, bro!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Okay, who's the hero?
Make it a Bud Light.
Change the way you move through the world. The V6 Nissan Altima.
Jeff, the Nets have a chance to win it on the last possession of the game now, but keep in mind the Celtics do have a foul to give with 16.8 now on the clock.
And that's a critical weapon. You want to take that foul at precisely the right time, not too early and certainly not too late. Boston's defending very well, but what they have to concern themselves with late is defending the second shot. When the shot goes up, all 5 Celtics must hit somebody and pursue the ball.
And as he said, they don't have size in there. Comes down to this. Jason Kidd gives the nod, and here's the play. Jason Kidd has it stripped away. And that'll do it. We go to overtime, tied at 90.
And when they got the steal, Boston did, there was 3 or 4 seconds they could have called a timeout and advanced it up the floor and get the last shot. Delk did a great job of guarding Kidd on the drive, deflects it on the way up. McCarty right there, timeout. And to be able to advance it up the court.
By the time he looked, it was 1.8 seconds by the time he looked up.
Here we go on the penetration. Again, the deflection. And he got it at 3.1 seconds. Plenty of time to call timeout, go down the other end, and advance it. And there's Pierce trying to get the timeout. But the man with the ball is the one the officials are looking at.
So we go to overtime in Game 4. The Nets and the Celtics tied at 90.
Tell me about your dream.
I'm floating in water. Can't you see we're adrift? We're lost.
Ah, liquidity issues.
No, water. We're at sea. We're rudderless. We need help.
This is Bob's meeting, Beth.
Does anyone hear me? I feel lost, adrift. I need help. What does it mean?
That you're lost, adrift, and need help.
The Home Depot is more than a store. It's learning how at our do-it-herself workshops for women. It's a new passion. It's comfort to ask questions. And more questions. Self-reliance, not someone else reliance. Turn wondering how into know-how at our do-it-herself workshops. The Home Depot, you can do it. We can help. Join us Wednesday, May 14th for our free workshops. To register, visit us online or stop by your local Home Depot.
And we are back at the Fleet Center, headed for overtime. The Nets had the last possession of the game. It was stripped away. The Celtics did not call timeout, so we go to a 5-minute extra session in this Game 4.
I think both teams have to be very pleased with their Game 4 performances. Byron Scott His team could have taken the game off. They've come to put away the Celtics, and Jim O'Brien has gotten a great response, and a lot of pride has been shown by his team here tonight.
Nets 1-2 in overtime, 0-1 in the playoffs. Celtics 3-2, 0-1 in the playoffs. And here is Kidd to Martin. Basket counts and a foul. A quick basket and a chance for an early three-point lead in OT.
How good is Jason Kidd off the tap, knowing that Martin's ahead of the field? Touch pass. That's just a tremendous play. And the point, Delk has got to make sure, just like in transition defense, on the tip, he's got responsibility for protecting the basket.
And the foul was on Eric Williams. Mark Blount is in the game with Williams, Delk, Pearson, Walker, and Kenyon Martin giving the Nets a 3-point lead 3 seconds into the overtime session. Delk with Williams trying to post up right now against Jefferson, who's denying it. And Kidd defending Pierce. Good defense by the Nets. Feed into Blunt, and Walker follows. Tough shot by Walker, and the Nets are up by 1. Walker tonight with 20 points, and he's got to feel good about the way he has rebounded in this one.
Played very hard and very well.
Here's Kidd. Battle for the loose ball and comes out to Delk. Nets are back defensively. Celtics trailing by 1. Nearly a minute gone by in the extra session. Here's Pierce. Baseline against Kidd. And the Celtics lead by 94-93 and a foul. And a chance for the three-point play.
A great spin move off Jason Kidd's forearm. He feels the pressure. Pierce doesn't, spins off of him and finishes with a great dunk and creates a three-point play opportunity.
And Pierce, who has been nearly perfect from the line, giving the Celtics a 95-93 lead. Pierce with 25, Delk 23, Walker 20. 2-point lead, and Martin, who's been strong in the fourth quarter, has a shot blocked by Blount, and Pierce has it. Well, there's Mark Blount, who you said might have been useful down the stretch inside. Makes the key block right there. Nearly 3.5 to go, and the Celtics are up by 2. Here's Pierce, in and out with the fall away. And the outlet to Kidd. Kidd challenging Delk all the way in. Knocked away. Last touch by Boston.
When Kidd's bringing it up on his great push and his one-man fast break, the Celtics have to load to him more and take away any of those penetrating avenues. He's too good at creating off the transition, even when it's a 1-on-2-3 break.
Here's Kittles, lost control momentarily, and the scramble for the loose ball, and the Celtics will come out with it. Celtics very alert in getting the loose balls here in the overtime session. With nearly 2 minutes gone by, here is Walker, and called for the offensive foul. Charging as he ran into Jason Collins, and for Walker, that is his 5th personal.
They have a mismatch. They do a good job of seeing the mismatch. They throw the lob. Good play by Jason Collins to come over there on the lob and prevent the easy layup and put Antoine Walker into a fouling out situation.
And Jefferson misses from the perimeter, and Collins going for the rebound. And there'll be a Celtic foul.
That's it for Walker.
Yeah, 6 fouls on Antoine Walker, and he fouls out of the game. So Antoine Walker has had a comeback game tonight, but will not see the finish to this one. As it looked like he just tried to strip the ball from Jason Collins.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Oh, he has him by the jersey. A very good call by Joey Crawford, and a difficult way to foul out if you're Antoine Walker and the Celtics.
20 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists for Antoine Walker as he committed 2 fouls in 12 seconds and is out of this one. Celtics by 2, but they lose a big one.
The first major advance for the fastest treatment of athlete's foot is Lamisil AT. Lamisil AT is the first non-prescription medicine proven to kill the fungus with just 1 week's use. Not even a prescription can beat that. Lotrimin AF and Tinactin still expect you to treat for 4 weeks. Who's going to do that? When your feet itch and burn, using Lamisil AT 1 week keeps you athlete's foot free 3 months. Lamisil AT. There's no better way to cure athlete's foot.
When it comes to international espionage, who is this? Staying invisible.
I don't believe we've met. We still haven't, sir.
Means staying alive. See The Art of War. Friday night at 8 on TNT.
The NBA playoffs on TNT, brought to you by the Home Depot. Go from wondering how to knowing how at the Home Depot. You can do it, we can help. Nissan and your Nissan dealer. IBM, taking business to the next level with e-business on demand. And Lamisil AT, the official athlete's foot treatment of the NBA.
Keep your dial where it is. The big doubleheader tomorrow. The two Western Conference playoffs. Both series tied at 2 apiece. Kings and Mavs started off at 7 o'clock, followed by the Lakers and the Spurs. Great to see Phil Jackson respond to that angioplasty, join his team. That'll be a big boost for that club. And I think until you really bury the champ lives, no matter what people say, for those 2 of the 5 best players in the game.
There's no doubt, as we see the foul trouble for the Nets and the Celtics, they have created a situation, the Lakers have, of putting extreme pressure on the Spurs. If the Spurs don't win Game 5, they know they may not get back there for a Game 7.
Walter McCarty replacing Antoine Walker for the Celtics, who fouled out. 2:45 to go. The lead is 2 for Boston. Collins with a great feed into Kittle's reverse layup, and Martin follows, and it's tipped in. Kenyon Martin with a tremendous, relentless play. Inside has 18 and ties the game at 95.
A great backdoor cut by Kittle, and then a great second jump by Martin. Tip, miss, and then back up to finish it off.
And Pierce pulls up, and Kittle's the rebound into the hands of Kidd, speeding down court. As the Nets look to take the lead with nearly 2 minutes remaining in overtime.
Great transition defense by the Celtics right there.
9 on the shot clock. Tipped away by Blount, out of bounds, and it's last touched by the Nets.
Great pass by Collins on the back cut to Kidd, and then Martin comes flying in there, misses, and then back up for a second jump. Could have been offensive interference. The ball looked like it was still in the cylinder.
So now the Celtics in position to try to take the lead. Pierce against the smaller Kidd. Fall away, and Pierce now with 27, and the Celtics lead 97-95. Under 2 minutes remain in this first overtime session. And the crowd chants what the story of this finish will be all about. Defense. Here's Kidd. Missing the 3. Pierce fighting Martin for the loose ball. And the foul is called. Great hustle again by the Celtics. And the loose ball foul called on Kenyon Martin. That'll be 5 on him.
But see, that's the difference right there between winning and losing close games. Are you going to put yourself on the line and chase down and pursue loose balls, step in and take charges? All those things make the difference between winning a close one and losing a close one.
And Paul Pierce coming up big here in the fourth quarter and overtime. Here he is again, Pierce with the fall away. And this time, this is everything. And the Nets coming back, still trailing by 2. Nearly a minute remaining in the first overtime session. Kittles goes to Kenyon Martin, out of control, and a blocking foul, no basket. Blocking foul called on McCarty with exactly a minute to go. And that is the first foul in the last 2 minutes by the Celtics.
And I think Byron Scott with a great substitution to get more shooting on the floor with Rodney Rogers for Collins. Spreads the floor and makes the pick and roll harder to defend.
Kenyon Martin with the jump shot. Martin ties it up at 97 with 54 plus remaining in this overtime session. They were tied at 90 going into the overtime, and we're tied again. McCarty in for Walker, who fouled out. And here is Pierce with the jumper, front rim. Jefferson the rebound, and the Nets trying to lock it up in 4 straight in position to take the lead. Kidd with a long shot, and the rebound by Blount. And he tried to pass it to Pierce, and it bounced off into the hands of the Nets.
And again, people might wonder, why did Jason Kidd take that hurried three-pointer? He was going for a 2-for-1 situation. He missed it. Blount secured the rebound, but then, again, he didn't know what he was going to do with it. Difficult outlet pass, and finally had it stolen.
Blount tried to get rid of it, and the Nets have it. Timeout with a chance to break the tie.
The Home Depot is more than a store. It's learning how at our do-it-yourself workshops for women. It's a new passion. It's comfort to ask questions. And more questions. Self-reliance, not someone else reliance. Turn wondering how into know-how at our do-it-yourself workshops. The Home Depot, you can do it. We can help. Join us Wednesday, May 14th for our free workshops. To register, visit us online or stop by your local Home Depot.
Ride. Champions ride Hondas. Now ride. And in the future. Honda XRs. They're a head start.
26 seconds left in overtime. 21 on the shot clock. Kenyon Martin has scored all 7 Nets points in overtime. He has 20 in the game. And the Nets with an opportunity right here, trying to close out the Boston Celtics. And for the Nets, it would be their first sweep if they could get it done. Jeff?
Boston has to do a good job defending the initial shot and again the second shot. And then remember, if they gain possession, call the timeout immediately so you can advance it up the floor.
Rodney Rogers will inbound. He's got Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson, Jason Kidd, and Kerry Kittles.
I would expect New Jersey to go back to some sort of pick and roll with Jason Kidd. It's been effective the last few possessions.
Kidd looking over at Byron Scott to get the play underway. And he does now with 8 on the clock. Here is Kenyon Martin shooting the jumper off the front rim. The rebound by Pierce, and the Celtics call the timeout. And they have 7.3 to try to win it and send this game and series to a Game 5 in New Jersey on Wednesday.
How's it going, Bob?
They're just like us. Hello. Only flakier. And on May 30th,
we're looking for Neymar.
One of them is missing.
I'm from the ocean.
I'm from Bob's Fish Mart.
eBay.
Walt Disney Pictures presents a Pixar Animation Studios film.
Yeah, I saw him, but I'm not telling you where he went.
All right, I'm done.
Finding Nemo.
You were all like, whoa. And then we were like, whoa. And then you were like, whoa.
Rated G.
Sure.
You don't hear this phone ringing? Hello?
Hi, Mom.
Oh, where are you? You haven't called this house in 2 days. I'm so worried about you.
Who is it?
Vegas.
I got married. Yeah, I got married, Mom. I eloped.
But what in the world would make you do something like this?
$22 a weekend day for any compact car at Budget. For irresistible prices on irresistible cars, call 1-800-BUDGET-7 or visit budget.com.
Celtics with 1 full timeout and a 20. Nets with 1 full timeout, no fouls to give. Jeff?
Well, I think obviously the ball and the play is going to be directed to Paul Pierce. But right now, a star has to trust his teammates. If that second defender comes to you, kick it to the open man where he can catch and shoot, particularly if it's Tony Delk or McCarty, who are very good spot-up shooters.
There's a man who always wanted the ball at a time like this, John Havlicek. Sitting next to Chris Ford, Havlicek on the left, 7.3 remaining in the first overtime. Jefferson is guarding Pierce, time running down. Pierce is going to pull up off the mark, and we're headed for another 5-minute session. So the Nets defense did a terrific job. They would not let the Celtics get inside the paint.
Pierce had a good look at it, missed it, and you really wonder right now, do the Celtics, with Walker out due to foul trouble, have enough energy left to withstand a deeper, more talented Nets in a second overtime?
You know, that's a great point. As you see Walker's reaction, he had fouled out. You have so much effort to give, and that has been the key to what the Celtics have done tonight. But now you're playing 10 extra minutes to extend a series. Great question. We'll find out the answer.
Hello, John? Oh, I lost the signal. Go forward, go forward. Hello, hello? Stop! All right, back up. Yeah, right there, that's good. Oh. My boss is gonna kill me.
Searching for a wireless signal your business can count on?
When we're back here.
With Verizon Wireless, you can make business calls on the nation's most reliable wireless network.
Can you hear me now? Good.
For all your company's wireless needs, we mean business. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
NBA Hoop It Up, the premier 3-on-3 basketball experience, is coming to your town. Don't miss your one shot to join the competition. Whatever your age or ability, whether you're male or female, a serious competitor, or playing for fun, this weekend tournament is for you. So sign your team up now and bring your friends and family out to enjoy this total basketball experience. Log on to NBA.com to find out when NBA Hoop It Up is traveling to your area. Get in on the 3-on-3 action.
I just think we had our backs against the wall, and we had to fight, and we had something to prove. And first 2 games, we really didn't play like a basketball. And I've always said, if we do lose, it's because of what we're not doing, not because of what somebody else is doing.
How about Shaq's free throw shooting, Jeff?
You got to give him a lot of credit. Right now, he's making down the stretch. Tim Duncan, I feel, is going to have to make and shoot a good percentage from the free throw line down the stretch tomorrow night for his team to win.
9-97, Jason Kidd, who has 24 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds. And Collins jumping against Blount. And the Nets will have the first possession. This is the second double overtime in the NBA playoffs in the last 3 days. The Dallas-Sacramento Classic on Saturday night. And Kidd, blanketed by Delk, fires in, and the alley-oop to Richard Jefferson, and New Jersey takes the lead here in the second overtime. Jefferson with 14. Here's Pierce, defended by Jefferson. And Eric Williams coming off the screen and ties it up. Gutty shot by Williams, who has 16 off the bench for Boston.
And Pierce physically is really struggling with that lower leg injury, whether it's cramps or the injury from last night. Somebody else is going to have to step forward and make plays like Williams just did.
It's a war of attrition right now for the Celtics. And there is Kittles hitting a big 3 from the corner. Kittles, as he has had in the Milwaukee series, earlier in this one, and again right now, hitting the big 3s, and the Nets are up by a trio. 3:45 to go in the second overtime. That is the first 3-point basket since the second quarter for New Jersey. Here is Delk off the glass. Rebound, Kenyon Martin. And the question you pose, you wonder whether the Celtics have the wherewithal, the strength, the energy, what have you, to dig down deep in a second overtime to stay alive.
New Jersey just looks much fresher right now.
Collins missing, and Delk getting the rebound. 102-99. Here's Eric Williams with the turnaround, and it falls off the rim, and the Nets get it. So Williams came close to making it a 1-point game, and now the Nets with 2 minutes gone by in the second OT. They're leading 102-99. Jason Kidd stolen by Delk. And Delk trying to force the pass and another turnover. The Celtics will rue those turnovers when this series is over.
Well, he did a great job. Great defensive play by Delk. Great look. He was wide open, Blount was. He just missed it.
And Delk reaching around, committing the foul with 2:32 remaining in the second overtime. We're tied at 90 all after the 4 quarters of regulation, 97 after the first overtime, and the Nets will use a timeout. How much more energy do the Celtics have, and how much does the crowd have as well?
Tell me about your dream.
I'm floating in water.
Can't you see we're adrift? We're lost.
Ah, liquidity issues.
No, water. We're at sea.
We're rudderless. We need help.
This is Bob's meeting, Beth.
Does anyone hear me? I feel lost. Adrift. I need help. What does it mean?
That you're lost, adrift, and need help.
I've got you under my skin. I have got you deep in the heart of me. Under my skin.
Here's Jason Kidd gets stripped away, and Pierce looking up. And then in the overtime session, it was Pierce forced to take the outside shot. Thus the third or the second overtime session we're in.
And Dick, Hugh Holland just told me that he and Joey Crawford had the double overtime game in Sacramento the other night. So at their advanced age, you're getting a little tuckered out. Maybe they'll get a little extra pay from the NBA office.
And maybe we'll have 3 more overtimes. Who knows? Here is Jefferson to Kenyon Martin. And Martin gets the basket on the pick and roll. Martin now with 22, and the Nets lead by 5 as the air is starting to be let out of this Celtic balloon, and the crowd as well at this point. Here's Eric Williams down low, and Williams with the fall away, a loose ball, last touch by the Celtics, and the Knicks will get it back.
Again, Eric Williams is having good success down there against other matchups other than Martin. You're not going to get much against Kenyon Martin there. And after the timeout, great execution by the Nets to get a deep post up and a dunk for Kenyon Martin.
Under 2 minutes remaining in the second overtime, and the Nets starting to get into control of this game. 8 on the shot clock. And here is Kenyon Martin trying to draw the foul, and his left-handed shot goes off the rim. Celtics need a flash of energy here from some source. And the pass going in, and the foul is called, and it's going to be on Kenyon Martin, and that'll do it for Martin. His 6th foul, and he's out of there.
A good play by Delk to find Blount rolling to the rim, and Martin comes over. And as he goes up to contest, that looks like a lot of ball and a difficult foul. That's your 6th foul right there.
And here's Blount, and he misses the free throw. The Celtics with 2 critical misses down the stretch on the line. This one here. So Kenyon Martin fouls out after a 22-point effort. He got started late in the scoring department. He had 9 points, though, in the 2 overtimes, and that was critical. And he had 10 rebounds, but Blount misses both. And under a minute and a half to go, and you can hear the collective sigh go up from the throng here at the Fleet Center. 104-99. Nets lead by 5. Trying to wrap it up and get ready for the Eastern Conference Finals as Jefferson, after the fake, is fouled by Paul Pierce.
And that's just a fatigue foul. But Paul Pierce has played 53 minutes, and when he was given that shot fake, he lost concentration. But again, you can't blame him. the Celtics, with very little depth, have done a great job tonight of hanging in there, putting it all out on the floor. They have nothing to be ashamed about. They just don't have enough to overcome a very, very good Nets team.
And this has always been a tough matchup anyway for the Celtics. They had dropped 9 of their last 10 to the New Jersey Nets. As you see, Martin and Walker fouled out, and the rest of the foul story is Jefferson. With 1:10 to go. Comes up empty on the first.
I'm amazed at how poorly NBA players shoot from the free throw line in fourth quarters of close games and overtime. We saw the Celtics miss a lot. Here, Jefferson's had a history of missing crucial free throws as well.
Celtics. So the lead is 6 for the New Jersey Nets with 1:10 to go. And the Celtics call a timeout, but in reality, this is a 2-possession game. We'll be right back.
Like sourdough bread, burgers just taste better cooked over an open fire. This burger is so juicy.
The sourdough bacon cheeseburger is back at Burger King. A 1/4 pound of beef, Swiss cheese, and 4 strips of bacon served on buttery toasted sourdough bread. Only back for a limited time.
The unexpected can be planned for. Tires with proven stopping power on the wings of Goodyear.
Like sourdough bread, burgers just taste better cooked over an open fire. This burger is so juicy.
The sourdough bacon cheeseburger is back at Burger King. A 1/4 pound of beef, Swiss cheese, and 4 strips of bacon served on buttery toasted sourdough bread. Only back for a limited time.
And the Nets right now in command, leading by 6 with 1:10 to go in the second overtime. Nets with 2 full timeouts left. The Celtics with a full timeout and a 30, and neither team with a foul to give.
Dick, and no matter how this game turns out, I think Jim O'Brien has done an unbelievable job with his team this year. Undermanned, not deep, and I believe Danny Ainge's first order of responsibility when this season is done is to give Jim O'Brien the contract extension he so justly deserves. He only has 1 year left on his contract after this year. They should rip that contract up and show him and his coaching staff that they're going to be here for a long, long time.
And Danny Ainge also scouting players. He's in the building tonight, knowing that he's got 2 top-flight players in Pierce and Walker. Pierce especially. Here is Eric Williams, and he misses the 3 and the rebound by Kidd, and that would have helped the Celtics get back into it. But the Nets right now in command, under a minute to go, 105-99. And the Nets beating Milwaukee in 6, trying to eliminate the Celtics in 4 straight. Bremer, the rookie, in on Kidd, whose scoop shot misses. Lucius Harris follows, dealt the rebound with nearly a half a minute to go. And it is still a 2-possession game, and Eric Williams got hit in the side. And the foul called against Rodney Rogers with 36.2.
Jason Kidd had a great look, but Lucius Harris made a mistake. When he rebounded that ball, he should have brought it out and run the clock. They could have run that clock all the way down under 15 seconds.
Eric Williams, 5 of 7 from the line tonight, has 16 points. He has played a big role in this spirited contest tonight for the Celtics, who certainly, if they do go down, did not go down easily, but the chance now, if he makes this, to climb within 4.
And then the Celtics have the choice. Do you foul immediately and play that free throw shooting game, or do you let them run the clock down and then try to score, foul, and then score again?
Here's Jason Kidd bringing it up and fouled by Pierce. And right now, the Celtics have to stop the clock, cannot afford the Nets to use up time. And they stop it with 33.4. Pierce with his 5th foul.
And right there, you would have rather seen someone else take the foul than Paul Pierce do, because if they do make this miraculous comeback and send it into another overtime, the last guy you need fouling out is Pierce.
Tomorrow, Game 5's on TNT. Two blockbuster games, the Kings and the Mavericks, followed by the Lakers and the Spurs. Both of those series tied at 2 apiece. It all begins at 7 p.m. right here on TNT. Jason Kidd with the free throws and a 6-point lead. Kidd with 26 points, 8 assists, and again, we said he was the top rebounder in the series. He has 9 off the glass. A great all-around effort by Kidd. He'll be back.
Available May 30th. Rated T for teen.
While we keep in mind that it is still a 2-possession game with over a half a minute remaining, looking ahead briefly to the Celtics, because Danny Ainge just got named to the job of head of basketball operations. What are the first steps now for him?
Well, I think besides signing Jim O'Brien, he's got to make a decision what he wants to add to Pearson Walker, and I believe that has to be an inside presence and a penetrating point guard who can create easier opportunities.
Eric Williams misses the lay-in, and Kidd is fouled by Bremer with 25 seconds to go, and I think Danny Ainge would appreciate the point guard part of it, among others, and of course salary cap things come into play as well for the Boston Celtics. Well, Jason Kidd with a big opportunity now to put the nail in the Celtics coffin.
And wasn't it interesting today when we saw Louis Katz, the owner of the Nets,
yes.
He said when Rod Thorne brought that trade to him, the Marbury for Kidd trade, the owner, Louis Katz, said, no, I don't want to do it. Marbury's younger. And Rod Thorne had to fight for Jason Kidd, and Jason Kidd has rewarded every expectation Rod Thorne had for he and the Nets here in these last 2 seasons. An unbelievable turnaround.
Kidd misses both, and the Nets get the ball back. And of course, where will Kidd go? And they had the mock jerseys of San Antonio with Kidd being there. Kidd just may wind up in New Jersey, where the Nets are going to be 1 step away, 1 series away from getting to the NBA Finals for the 2nd straight year. So the Boston Celtics, with a great effort, they ran out of gas, but as Red Auerbach, the great basketball figure of all time, said it's not solitaire, you know. The other team has its say. And so the Boston Celtics are beaten, and the New Jersey Nets advance their first playoff series sweep in history. The final score in double overtime, the Nets 110, the Celtics 101.
Finishes with a career playoff high 23 points, career playoff high 9 rebounds and 5 steals.
And the Nets will go on to play the winner of the series between the Pistons and the 76ers, tied 2 games apiece. And that resumes Wednesday in Detroit. Right now, let's send it over to Cheryl Miller with Jason Kidd.
Wasn't the easiest team to try to close out tonight, but you were able to do that. Talk about just the endurance in the second overtime.
Well, I think, you know, we knew we were going to have our hands full with Boston. They're a class act. They came out and gave us everything. And, you know, it was just going to be who was going to get tired or who was going to make shots first. And Paul and I had game-winning shots. But it was a great game all the way around, and that's what NBA playoff basketball is all about.
Talk about the mental focus of this team, especially coming in a hostile environment and remaining focused and winning these 2 games on the road.
Well, it just shows a lot of character on on my teammates' side, in the sense of, you know, we never lost our composure in a hostile environment, and we've closed 2 series on the road. And if you want to win a championship, you have to be able to do that. So now we get to wait to see who is Detroit or Philly, get some time off, and you know, watch it on TNT.
What do you hope that the team got from this series, closing out the Boston Celtics?
Well, our character to come out on the road We probably got in a little bit of the three-point contest, who was going to make the most threes, but we kept our composure and we fought. And we were down by 5 with 2 minutes left, and we just fought, and again, the ball bounced our way.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll send it back to you, Dick.
All right, Cheryl, character and endurance. Jason Kidd played 53 minutes tonight. Kenyon Martin fouled out with 22, but he had 9 in the overtimes. Pierce had 27 for the Celtics. Tony Delk, hot early, had 23, and Antoine Walker fouled out in the first overtime with 20 points. So our final score again tonight, the New Jersey Nets sweep the Celtics, winning by a score of 110-101. So this is Dick Stockton saying goodnight for Jeff Van Gundy, Cheryl Miller, and our entire crew. Stay tuned to TNT for post-game interviews and a recap of playoff action on Inside the NBA presented by Hyundai. Right now, let's send it to Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and of course Magic in the studio. So long, everybody.